up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period.
I'm your
Period.
host, Pharaoh. We're joined by our wonderful co-host, Lee, and we are finished. Well, not yet, but we're on the last week of Big Brother 2 for BB Rebound Turner, bitch.
Why are you quiet yelling?
I just feel like if I'm yelling, that's crazy. That's
That's
just
true.
crazy.
That's true. I mean, you
Like,
yelled
why am I
before.
screaming?
We're used to it. Well,
No, I don't yell. I
well,
actually never yell.
well, do.
I've
And
never
it's
heard myself.
okay. You're a yeller. You yell a lot in your sleep.
I feel like I've never heard myself scream or yell or get loud at all, actually.
You do. Very loud, actually. Loud.
Boom. So Lee,
hmm
we watched the finale.
We
How are
did.
you feeling about the cultivation of this
The what?
end game? How do you feel about this end game? These last couple of episodes. How you feeling?
I mean, this was honestly just a really great rewatch. I feel like I have rated all of like my full length seasons that I've watched recently, and I feel like this tops my list. Maybe it's recency bias a little bit, but I really, really enjoyed this season. I feel like this is like of course it is the building blocks of Big Brother because it was the first ever season, but like for real though, like I feel like I was watching just like
Mm,
the origin of what Big Brother was supposed to be from watching this season. Like so many different like archetypes and strategies and just ways of how to play this game you
yeah,
can trace back to this season. And just so many like I mean someone being expelled, a proposal at finale night. I
yeah.
mean, it's just so this season has so many I just feel like great qualities, and on top of all of that it was presented in such a good way. Like I'm already dreading getting to like some of the new era Be Rewind seasons because I already know the edit is nothing like this. Like the way they
Mm-hmm.
put this season out, it just felt so authentic. It
Yeah.
wasn't gimmicky. It wasn't just childish. It was real. Like when they're talking in the diary rooms, like it feels like it's a diary. Like they're actually expressing their true feelings. I feel like we understand in each individual person in this season, including someone like Justin that was expelled, Cheryl who's the first
Mm-hmm.
evictee, and we also understand their opinions on other people. And
Yeah.
we don't get that anymore. Like if you're not
Nope.
someone who is shucking and jiving and tap dancing in the diary rooms and giving them this show, they're not going to put you on the forefront. And we
Yeah.
learn nothing. There are people we learn nothing about until they go home, and they want to shove this segment down our throats on the week they're going home. There are
Yeah.
times where like someone who isn't on the edit at all, and then boom, they win HOH. There was never a time watching this season if someone won something or did something that we would be confused on their position or how they feel about the game. Like
Exactly.
someone like Mimi is a great example. Like I remember, like in the edited show, we got nothing literally until the week she went home. Until the week that she was
Mm-hmm.
nominated, and the flip the vote on her to go is when we got a Mimi segment on the edited show. And it's like this person has been here. The audience, whether she's playing actively or not, the audience should have been introduced to this person that is in this house.
Yeah. 100%.
And I've said this before we started, girl. Maybe we need to go ahead and lower these cast. Maybe we do. Maybe it needs to go down to 12, 14, something.
12?
Do we need 16 people for them to not give a fuck about any of them for real?
No, because they
Might
don't
as well
care.
not give a fuck about 12.
If they're gonna keep not giving a fuck, then well, because
I
also
just think
if
it's
they're not, if
easier
they keep
on
not
them.
giving a fuck, you can keep it at 16. But honestly, like I just feel like just give a fuck. It's not hard to give a fuck about 16 people. I don't feel like it's really not that many. Survivor does it well with 20 sometimes. Like there's times where I feel like I know some full Survivor cast better than I know full Big Brother cast, but no more because now they've been. Well, no, this last season of Survivor, I felt pretty good about the entire cast. Like I really knew a lot of them at merge, even before merge. Like I feel like I got a good idea of who they all were, but it seems like with Big Brother, they just really struggle or they just don't care. It's not that they struggle; they don't care. And you see in these older seasons, there's so much stuff that they could just do. We're just like, y'all could just do that. Just give us a segment explaining that how everyone feels about this person. Do that
Right.
again. They stopped doing that, and it's made the show so much less real. Now it's just fake. It's just a gimmick. It's just a show. It's just about the show rather than the people or the contestants or the game. It's not about none of that. It's just about the show and what we're gonna pretend it's about. and we're going to pretend the main focus should be on. And it's like, that's just so annoying. We should have had so many segments about so many people last season, and we didn't get to even know. I don't even feel like I knew Matt well. I don't even feel like I knew Jag the winner well. I don't feel like I knew Bowie Jane
Like
well.
based off the TV edit, like you have to watch the feeds
Based
now.
off that.
You really do. Like I feel like like I know from like fact checking with certain like discussion threads, but even while just watching, you can tell how much information is being put into the edited show versus new era seasons. Like you could watch a full episode and not understand any of the structure of the house, any of the alliances, any of what is actually even accurately happening at that time.
They be late on shit. They don't tell us about the cookout until week 3, and it was formed week 1, or the Brown Sugar Babes don't even get talked about. And it's like there's whole arguments about it. It's like, girl, I need y'all to.
And they scrambling to make it make sense when it's happening, and it's like you should have just expressed it from the beginning. Like there was no interaction or thing that I was shocked by happening, and I feel like I guess to give it a little bit more slack, it's like it's BB2, so it's like of course this would be more easier to edit, but like I just think there are a lot of qualities that they should have continued on, like. They just didn't. They just didn't. And I feel like like I've seen like the ratings, so I feel like they were definitely trying to like get the cash grabs. Like we're gonna do that. That's why I kept bringing people back, because BB13 views were humongous. Like it really was a revival for the series a little bit, and they just kept trying to replicate that. That's why BB14 was returnees. That's why they wanted to bring in Rachel Riley's sister in 15. And then you got like the BB18 returnees, and then we got Paul the BB19. Like they love that. So it's just, I don't know. I just, it's so clear that is exactly what it is now. They're trying to curate something that's going to get them ratings. And I feel like by now, why haven't they realized that the things that you're trying to do is only making it worse? Like I feel like literally the only thing that's like saving the show for me right now, and this may be a biased opinion, is the diversity of it all. Because I feel like even with all the gimmicks they're trying to put out, the diversity breaks through it. Because of course we're just naturally seeing different types of gameplay that we were not seeing in a majority white household. Because now we have actual different backgrounds that are mixing with each other and causing interesting outcomes. But the game itself wouldn't allow it. If the casting stayed the same, I'm pretty sure 23 to 25 would be the exact same. Boring as hell.
Yep. So I like it. I like the new era too, and I feel like the new era has shown just changes. They haven't brought anybody back yet, and they used
the competitions have also been different. I'll give them that.
The competitions have been different,
slightly.
And the casting has been different. So I think they might be trying to move in a different direction slowly, and I'm interested to see if it continues to move down that direction or if they stop. Because right now I'm kind of okay with the new direction they're trying to lead towards. I just hope they go all in. I feel like they dipping their toe in, but it's not enough. Like we'll get Felicia because Cerie's here, and we'll see how it works. But it's like it worked. So what now? They both made Final 5. Felicia made Final 4. So it's like what now? Now you like took a chance, got an older person, and put them in a house where it was a more equal opportunity for them. They made it to the end game. So similar to how old school would do, how Jerry would make it, Rennie would make it. So it's like now that you see that it can still work and the formula can still work, and Felicia can be liked by the fans. Like there can be views coming from her being on the cast. So what now? So I'm wondering what they're gonna do. I'm interested because BB26 around the corner. So I'm interested. What are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do with that? But we'll see, child. So let's get into the week. We started off last week, or we ended off last week with Hardy getting evicted by Will. Will was the only vote. He evicted him, and then we played part 1 of the final 3 HOH part, and it ended up with Will having the most points, Nicole having 1 less point than him, and then Monica having the least points. So we started off this week, and Nicole is a little bit shocked and grateful or whatever that Will didn't evict her. She felt like he was, and he didn't. So that's how she's feeling. She's feeling happy about that. That's good for her. And Will says that he was playing mind games with her, that he was purposefully trying to. Will be lying. Because was he really doing this, or are you just saying this after the fact? But anyways, he's claiming that he was purposely leaning towards Nicole and trying to make her feel like he was going to evict her instead of evict Hardy. And then he did do some little, I vote to evict party and then like motion towards her and stuff. But it's like it's all gimmicks for me. I'm
Right.
sorry. Does anybody really care?
I don't think I mean, 'cause I was shocked when he said that he was actually considering, but I just feel like we've seen the inconsistency. I'm sorry, no shade, Dr. William.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of inconsistency from previous diary rooms, what he says in the actual show. You know, it's just, but like I said, it's the evil doctor. That's the character that he is, and I mean, he serves it up.
So he's pushing this narrative to Nicole that, oh my God, all we have to do is win part 3, and then we're good. If you win part 2, I win part 3, then we made it to the final 2. We made it. And he's like pushing this narrative that they should just take each other to the final 2. And we see Nicole, she's skeptical to his face. She's like, girl, are you really giving that? I don't know. And then she goes and talks to Monica, and she tells Monica, we just got to get that nigga out. Mm-hmm. It's fuck that.
Will cannot win.
He cannot win that. I can't do that. I would never allow that. I couldn't have that happen at all. He does not deserve to be there. Girl, we got this.
And it's like, girl, you one that take him.
You literally take him. So that was all some bullshit all along.
And it's like that's not good. And that's the big key thing for Nicole throughout these last few weeks. Her jury management has just not been the best. Yeah. Literally, it started with the Kent week, but it really did the push with the Crystal week. Because Kent up is they all didn't vote for her, and they all could have easily been votes for her if she sent them out in a way that they still felt good about her.
Yeah, and they don't.
And this is an example of like a situation where it's like I feel like in this scenario, because she says in the diary room, she's telling Monica. That if she won HOH, she would evict Will, and that they should take each other, in hopes that Monica will want to do the exact same thing. It's like that kind of tells me, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but it's like you're really only doing all of this so Monica feels like we'll have to go now take Nicole. Like you actually weren't in this mindset. You just wanted her to be in that mindset, and it's like if that's what you're playing, and girl, play that. But like that's where it's like I think it becomes a little. It looks phony from the outside looking in because she's always saying one thing, but then the actions are saying a different thing. So you're saying this entire week how much you hate Will. Like you've been saying this entire season how much you hate Will and that you want him out of this game and he's this evil person, is going to be this morally and ethically and all of these things, these big vocab words as to why you can't do a certain thing, but then you do that exact same thing when you had the power this entire time.
Every single time.
So it's like that is really her biggest thing. I just think that she kept getting caught up in not being the bad guy, which is what it came down to. It like she says that later in the episode. Like she wants to throw the HOH so Will can cut Monica because she doesn't want to be the bad person. And it's like I think that was her main thing this entire game. She is doing all of the actions, but she doesn't want to get ridiculed behind it, which I think is like a double-edged sword because it's like that's also the game in itself. Like the jury voting her, they are claiming that those are qualities they want in someone to win, you know? So she's playing up that like, okay, well, no one's gonna like we all hate Will. People don't like someone that's backstabbing and manipulating. So I have to be, we're all friends.
You have to be that way though. You can't pretend and assume, oh, they're all just so stupid. They won't know I'm pretending this whole time. And then you're pretending to yourself and convincing yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to everybody else, and it's see-through. And that's the issue. The issue is that you're putting on a front to me, and what it makes people feel is stupid. It makes it feel like you think they're stupid. Like I feel like I would be like, bitch, you think I'm dumb? You think I'm dumb as fuck? And I'm like, kid, I just didn't want you to go so bad that I threw the HOA. You think I'm a dummy? And you want me to vote for you? You didn't want
to put me up so bad that you throw the HOH
to make sure I get nominated. Shut the fuck up. And then she says it, and it's like you think she's assuming, oh, he'll be fine. This is gonna make him feel good. That's why she's saying it, to make him feel good. And it's like you think people are stupider than you, girl. Bye. Like literally, girl, bye. And that's the problem. She just needs to be upfront about something.
Own it. It's like I think it's like Nicole Franzel a lot. It's like how she got the critique that she did not own her gameplay. And I feel like Nicole is a player that could have won a more modern season, which we'll definitely discuss a little bit later. Like, because Nicole ended up winning BB18. I feel like that was a big critique for her. But it's just like, that is the big thing, especially like in this older type of season, because they don't like I think that's the biggest thing. Like, don't come off as like fake or phony. Like, they
And
want
that's
you to
just
be real and authentic.
And that's just period. That's for people, and people feel like that in general. When Jag had his speech last season, fans were saying it was too much and he was lying and woo woo. But when he was like, I mean, all of y'all blood is on me. I took all y'all niggas out and I didn't give a fuck. Period. It's like that makes the jurors who actually voted for him, makes them feel better about it than him going up there saying, well, I wasn't the head of it, like what Matt did. Like
Right.
Matt said, I'm not the head of it, and it wasn't my fault, because I think Matt's assuming. Oh, and Nicole at the same time they're assuming it's better if they don't feel like I was the one who backstabbed them and took them out. When really it's the opposite. They would rather you just say it. They would rather you just say it, and any
Say it,
human
own
would.
up to it, be real about it, and that way, if you're
You took me
being
out, you
real
were real
about
too.
it, when you're sending them home, it's not this. Oh, we're friends, and I love you, and you're my sister, but I still have to send you home.
You're my brother and my dad, and I just can't believe oh my God, you're my dad. But yeah, I did let you go home because I didn't win the HOH to try to save you, Dad. But you're still my dad. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, just shut up, or just at least just don't call me your dad and cry about it. Like, if she just would have bossed up in the diary room at least afterwards, and in her exit interviews had been like, look, I know I said I wanted you to stay, kid, but honestly, I didn't. And at the time, I felt like I had to tell you what I had to tell you in case you stayed, because I'm just playing this game really hard. I am sorry that you went home, but you had to go home for my game for me to succeed. And it's like, then people can be like, okay, she ate me up, and they can have time to marinate and whatever and woo woo. But the way she did it is just, you're fake. You're not sad I went home.
Yeah,
You voted me
and
out.
that's how they felt. Like, the point blank period. That's how they felt leaving. Like, you don't actually care.
Half the time, she was the only vote voting them out. Like, it's so little people in this game that there was times where there was just one vote, period, or one or two votes, and you were one of the two. And if you didn't do it, I would have stayed. It's like, you can't say it in that scenario where you could literally save me. At least say it in top 10 when it still works. You say it in the top 6. But yeah, after this, we get a food/luxury competition. It was real cute. I actually like this because they got to get presents. Start giving them presents again. Like, I actually like seeing them just do shit. Just have them do shit. Stop being so boring. Damn. So I really like this. Nicole really wanted like a DVD player in the segment, and then Will ended up getting it. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny as hell. But she was real mad about it.
Which
and
sent her over the edge because she wanted that for her man.
Then she started getting more and more miserable, to put it for lack of better words. What Will calls it. She just starts being miserable. And it's kind of because she didn't receive anything and that she didn't really win anything for her husband. And she just feels like, oh, I've been trying this whole time to get something for my husband and I just can't get anything. And then she goes and crawls in her bed. And then Monica and Will are trying to have fun and just be cool. And they can't because she's being so miserable near them. And it's like negative energy just near in your presence. It's a lot. It's heavy. Like, I can tell you got a negative stank ass attitude all the time. Like, God, every time you walk up, you got a mug on your face and you got a stank attitude. And like, I can't do that. And that's how Nicole is 24/7 in the house. And Will and Monica.
That wasn't her. She told Julie at the end that wasn't her.
And you know what?
Switch up how she was. She was not happy. She was.
I believe that she's not that. I don't think it's to that extent of how it was just insufferable, because no one would ever marry you in that case. But I do think she still has some qualities like that. And Monica gets in her ass later on, so we'll let Monica do it for you. she eats that up. Speaking of Monica, Nicole.
You mean the light-skinned black woman?
Girl.
Or the light-skinned white woman?
Nicole is on the kitchen counter, and Monica is laying down on a chair, a couch. And Nicole is like, ooh, my tan make me look like a light-skinned black girl, light-skinned black woman.
Oh my God. You know what that just reminded me of?
Don't say nobody racist.
Remember when Angela was like,
oh my God. Ah!
What did they say? Angela and Rachel
like out here.
Like, what do you mean? Why do people think those comparisons?
You're not looking like Bailey. I'm sorry. You look burnt. Red, baby. So Nicole Red ass is talking about she's a light skin and she looks like a light skinned black woman. And Monica was like,
Well,
you don't really put those two words in the same sentence. You don't really need
light
to do
skin
that.
being black. We know. You say I look
We
light skin.
know.
That's a black person.
Nicole says, "What if I'm referring to a white person?" You're not,
You're not.
dummy.
That's not possible. And what I
is,
hate about Nicole in this conversation is just that it's condescending the word. Definitely
it's
just
that too.
provoking. Like she wanted a reaction.
Yep.
She knew that it could be honestly what she says later politically incorrect, or that this could be something that Monica is edgy about, and she pushed. Like it's like don't do that. It just felt like she was reaching for an argument that was not there.
It's the exact same energy as personal game information.
Oh my! It don't no, and that's the big thing.
Bitch,
Like I
you
love
know
these
what the fuck I mean.
shows.
Even if I'm saying something different, you know what the fuck I mean, and you're only arguing about it to provoke me, you
Literally.
stupid bitch. Because even if personal game information isn't a thing, you know why the fuck we're mad. You know why Bailey's mad. So why the fuck are you pretending you don't? You know why Monica said what she said, and she's being dense is the word on purpose
Dense, yeah.
because she's bored. That's what it is.
And
Nicole is
I feel
bored.
like definitely like the last few weeks in general, it's been giving heavy Christmas vibes. Like no shade.
It is.
I don't think overall she's a Christmas, but like, ooh, she was just really
On the
really.
borderline.
These last few weeks, it was really just giving like, girl,
Like, girl, what the fuck? So she goes back and forth with her about if the fact that white people can be light skinned or not. And she's
like
like,
you've never
white
called.
complected, dark complected. And you've never said it this whole motherfucking time. It's been 10 niggas all season. Hardy got 10 one time. You never said, ooh, you light skinned. You never said it. So why the fuck are you pretending that it's something you say? You don't. You
White
don't say
people are
that.
light complected, and they can be, but you still refer to them as that. So why are you saying
never say that? We've been in the house for 80 days and you've never said it until today. Just lying. Damn it. So Monica gets up and walks away, and she's better than me because I would argue with the bitch all day. Are you dumb or stupid? God, I can't.
And then you see Will. He said, "My name's Paul. It's up to y'all."
My name's been in it. I ain't in it. He wasn't having it
Because he knew it was a dumbass conversation as a white person should not be having. Like, shut the fuck up. Because that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. Because she kept going like, "So are you saying that it's politically incorrect?" And she was like, Monica was like, "Well, no, you said that, not me." Because you know it is, and you know you sound stupid. And I will say, it's not even necessarily politically incorrect. Like, you just sound ignorant. Like, you sound dumb.
On purpose.
Like, it's not
you know thing. What the fuck you're doing. You're on purposely being a dummy. Stop playing stupid. We get the annual round table segment where the round table changes to smaller. The smaller is real tiny now because it's final 3. That's real cute. I can't believe they did that on season 2. Like they was consistent. They've been consistent, bitch. Period. Final 4, you go out and you vote. Final 3, you go out and you vote directly. The table's gonna change. Like, come on.
Consistency, we love it.
Consistency, period. Then we get the American Choice question. Which house guest would you like to have a live internet chat with? And America votes for Will. So Will gets to have a Q&A session on the internet with fans. So
it's so cute. Really like it is live. So like imagine if we're doing this in like the thing is they were doing this in BB2 in 2001 and they can't even do it now. Like I guess they with the HOA. Yeah. But like it would be more
choose. Yeah, you got it.
It's just way more pick and choose. I feel like it's not more freeform. Like imagine if you gave them a Twitter account for a day.
Yeah, literally.
Or a few hours.
That would be so fun. That would be so fun. But yeah, they very much so pick and choose. And it's kind of like very similar questions every time. Jag, who's your closest ally? And he won 3 HOHs, so we know. And then it's only the HOH. Like, this was random. This was just Will randomly.
Right. America got to pick Will. Like, imagine we got to pick someone we really like.
And I miss us getting to pick people to win stuff, but I don't want them to win power. So I'm like conflicted because I feel like if they were to go back to us voting for people, it would be voting for powers.
Right.
And I don't want nobody to have a power. Just let it be regular Big Brother. So
ever since I started watching Big Brother, it's never been not powers. And that's so unfortunate because like I would love to vote on like a flat screen TV or just I don't know, let her from home.
Somebody to get a day at a movie theater.
Something.
And go watch a movie. Something cute. I don't know, something for the summertime. Anything. But anyways. So during the questionnaire, as they're asking him questions, they ask him about Nicole. They're like, "Is Nicole really insufferable?" He kind of says yes, but
He
when he
definitely
goes out,
goes in on her. It's real nasty.
and then he goes out and he lies because Nicole asks him what kind of questions he has, and he tells her about it, and he tells her, "Oh well, I just think you're misunderstanding. You're not that bad on the inside. You're actually not that bad." It's like you did not say that.
At
Why did
all.
you lie? But yeah, he lied. I know that's right. But they end
That's
up
one thing we're gonna
talking.
do is lie.
Period. They end up talking and reconciling like their final two because Nicole says she's been real stressed about going home. She feels like everyone thinks she's a bitch and a terrible person, and she's so concerned and not coming across as a bitch. And oh my god, I don't want people to think I'm a bitch, and I hope people don't think I'm a bitch. It's like okay,
She clocked.
it's
She
always
know.
the people who want to. Who you knew. Let's just say that you knew. So they relock in, they found a two, and then we head into part two of the HOH competition, which was put this as the HOH again.
This was
But
cute.
like,
Where was this when Felicia was here?
but like, this is another issue because Jag would probably just win because if he was running fastest, he'd probably get the best time. And it's like, stop timing shit. That's the issue. Stop timing shit. Make them make the best sandwich. Make a cooking competition. Something.
Right.
Y'all can bring in 3 judges. You know the man who was doing the piano on Reindeer Games and DX and Tiffany. Make them the 3 cooking judges. Have them not know whose dish each is. Have them eat the dishes and be like, damn, this is the best one, and you win the HOH.
Oh, yeah, this actually would be a cute comp.
I
Like
just
this,
don't see
like
why.
more. I feel like this was such more like homely. I don't know. I really liked it. Like the obstacle course is in the house. Each station is like each household chore for the actual house. I don't know. I just thought it was way more interesting. It just incorporates the environment a lot more. Like I feel like
Yeah,
in Big Brother, it's more so okay. We're gonna build this extreme competition outside, and then we're gonna go
yeah,
out there. And it's like this is so like cute. It's on the inside. That's why I just like hide and go veto because you're incorporating the environment. Like you're hiding somewhere in the house.
yeah, exactly. I like it too. I like that aspect as well. I just feel like it feels more not it feels more Big Brother-y. Big Brother-y had a homey kind of vibe this season. And I feel like later on, like you said, it's these big contraptions and we're
Like
finishing
it's a
verb in the
studio. They're not
backyard.
living in the house. Like it
Child,
actually gave they lived in the house.
child. Oh, apparently there's a competition like that. There's a one food competition, the All Stars, where they all made dishes out of slop, and the judges were June, Nicole, and Marvin. Yes, like that could be a
Cute.
comp. I feel like there's, and this is the thing, like they overthink themselves on competitions. When competitions in Big Brother can just be anything.
This
Bitch.
is not the
Drink
challenge.
this, drink this nasty ass drink the fastest. That can be a whole HO.
The thing is, though, they know that. You know why they know that? Because they literally have a running competition where all you do is run.
And why run out of everything? Do you know that men run faster just in general?
Meanwhile, they're casting people in their 60s
women
and expecting people
alive.
to run.
The fastest women alive are nowhere near as fast runners as the fastest men alive. So why the fuck would you make running a company?
They hate women, and that's the problem.
They just hate women. I know that's right. I know that's right. It's crazy. We in the
don't die, sister.
We in part 2. Thank you. We in part 2, and Will ends up doing the worst, but at the end of the day, he still has more points than Monica. So him and Nicole have the most points to go on to part 3 of the final part, HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. After that, Nicole and Will talk, and basically, Nicole has a diary room. She says that this is going to be just such a big decision, and she doesn't know what she's going to do, and it's probably going to be a fucked up decision at the end of the day, and it's probably going to fuck everything up at the end of the day because she doesn't really know what to do. But she's trying to tell him that she wants to take him. But this is the thing: she's already told Monica she wants to take her, and at this point, I genuinely thought Nicole would have took Monica, but she wouldn't. And that's her issue. Because at the end of the day, and she kind of says that at the end of the day, I'm here to win the game. And she's always been there to win the game more so than to be this morally high person. But she keeps talking about it's this conflictation between my morals and who I am. And there's you over here, Will, who I just know is just so terrible and I shouldn't take you. And then there's Monica, who I know I should take. And then there's my husband. And she says that later. And it's like, girl, are you just saying this for yourself? And it is for herself. And we're going to get into it because Monica. So this slides into episode 29. And this is the episode where 9/11 has happened. The house guests have been informed about 9/11. Julie introduces it to us, and then we immediately see them production telling the house guests, which is crazy because like y'all are in the Big Brother house. I was thinking, what if they were in New York? What if the Big Brother house was in New York? What would y'all do? Evacuate? You would have to evacuate.
Interesting thing because like they kind of say that too. Like these are like the only three people who really do not know about this tragedy. Like probably in the world at this point, who did not know about it. So it's really interesting. It's just an interesting concept because like I talked about this before. Like they're in the game worried about who's winning HOH and who's going to take me to final two and these kind of like arbitrary things, and then this terrorist attack is happening outside. Like it just really shows like what kind of social experiment this game is. Like you're really shut off from everything in the outside world.
Mm-hmm. The only similar situation I can think of is BB Can 8 when they tell them that they're in lockdown for COVID.
Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Watching those
they were like
clips.
crying and stuff. Yes, the reaction was crazy. But it's even crazy because they kind of knew about COVID a little bit, but they didn't know that it had extremely got to that extent. It was like
that's like no one did. I remember when that first started, it was like, oh, okay, this is something new. Like it's like swine flu or something like that. Or like what was the big one? The other big one?
Ebola.
But it was like, and then it got crazy out of hand. So yeah, and BB Can they ended up canceling that season. And I know there were people who wanted this season to be canceled because of 9/11. But of course they kept with it. Apparently there was actually supposed to be the next episode on the actual day of 9/11, but they didn't. And then I'm trying to find like articles and stuff like that. Like a lot of like the discussion threads were saying that like, oh, it's just a bunch of like news channels airing about the tragedies. Like so like while CBS is dealing with this show that they have to like wrap up, we have this in the middle of it. Like I'm honestly shocked that they did continue it, honestly. Because I think the next episode, it shows on Paramount that it aired on the 18th, which was some days after. But I'm
assuming it's just like they were just like, we're almost done. Let's just wrap it up. Mm-hmm. But still, that's crazy.
And I think it's changed so much because like this literally changed like the way security works at airports and stuff like that. Like that all like the security check, like how they have to like the X-ray and check the bags and stuff like that. That was not a thing. And I know like they were saying like when Monica went home, like they're struggling to get flights. Like you advise your family not to fly. So I just know like the world definitely like you could just feel while watching that there was a shift. I feel like So like I mean, because we were definitely not old enough to like fully experience it. So I don't know. Because I feel like one of the bigger things, like you mentioned, like with COVID, like that's kind of one of the bigger things in our lifetime. I feel like it's just a huge shift
in worldwide. Like it's like life stopped, and then when time passed and we were able to kind of get past it, then life started again with COVID. And like people feel, I know people always talk about how people feel like they missed years of their life, or they still feel 21 even though they're 25, or they still feel 18 even though they're 21, because that time spent kind of cooped up, not really living life. Like those 2 years of COVID, we weren't really doing anything other than quarantining and staying to ourselves and being on TikTok all the time. It just was a big shift. It was a very big shift. But with 9/11, I can only imagine. It's crazy because, like you said, we weren't really able to be around. My parents never really talk about it to me. I don't know how they felt. I don't really know how they felt at the time, how they felt about it or anything.
I've asked my mom. She said that she just remember like seeing it on the news because she was at work at the time, and she just remember like the news was about it for the next like week. It was nothing but that. But that's really
and growing up in school every year. On 9/11 in elementary school, we would still always spend that day talking about 9/11 in my elementary
school. Do they do that anymore? I
don't think they do it anymore.
Now, like this would be the 23rd year, this September. I feel like it's definitely not as talked about as much at all. But it makes sense. Like, I mean, we're like what? We're like one of the last generations that were alive during it, really.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The generations under us, they were not even babies when it happened. They were not even thought of. So it definitely makes sense how over time you kind of move away from it. But yeah, that's such a. I feel like that's such a that's never gonna be fully forgotten. Like that's a huge moment.
It's crazy because it's like we're living through history. So the things we think back to when we were learning about history, girl, I don't know about history, so I can't give an example. But in big events in history that you think about or that you read about and you learn about, it's like it's not something to talk about on a daily.
Right.
But you think about it and you learn about it. And then this is going to become something where people don't talk about it on a daily anymore. They just learn about it in the history book and be like, oh, this happened? Okay, damn. And then they move along. And it's like, oh, that's not even like Obama winning presidency. Like that is something that's going to be in history books. People are going to have to learn about that segment of time. And it's like, we lived it. We talked about it for a while. And now it's kind of like already waning towards that's going to be just a history book note. Very
interesting. That's what COVID is now. It's like years from now, we're going to talk about like the girls, the great pandemic, child. Yeah. It got really, really bad.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah. So,
I really like this one.
Let's see. We'll talk about on the All Stars feed how surreal it was to leave the house and go back to the real world as it was grieving this tragedy he didn't experience in real time. That's crazy.
Because like that's the thing. It's like you were alive for it. You're an adult for it, but like you didn't experience it. Like being in the Big Brother game, you're not experiencing it in the same way as literally the entire world. So it's like I'm really curious to see. I mean, just how the experience feels. I'm pretty sure for Monica, because we learned that Monica's cousin Tamitha was unaccounted for at the time, and then she did pass away. She was, So it definitely probably hit harder for her having to go home and like there's way more surreal.
Her family, and she's from New York. She's from New York. Her family's in New York.
That's crazy.
It's just crazy in general being from New York during the time. Like, oh, what do you do? Where do you go? That's very insane.
But I know like when they fell, that entire like block was like the smog from the buildings. Like if you see the videos of people running from it, they literally have to run into buildings because there's like this cloud of smoke that literally years later were dying from complications of that.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. That's
scary. Why would they rebuild?
Let's have that not ever happen again.
Or
they rebuilt what? The World Trade. Right now, it's a memorial. Like both of the World Trade Center places where they were, just memorials of everyone who passed. But they did talk about rebuilding it. But do you need to? I'm scared now. But yes. So they let the house guests know, and then we see a segment of, first of all, Will and Nicole praising Monica as they should, because Monica's experiencing someone being at that place at that moment. So it's like, girl, you're going through a lot. She didn't seem any different. And it's like, wow, like you are that girl. You are really that
also like even though they're not experiencing it, they know how big of a moment this is. Like when it comes like as far as terrorist attacks go, like the US, like the mainland, like I know Pearl Harbor is a huge thing, but like that's not like this type of tragedy is like the first I feel like that America really experienced, especially in the modern era. So like I can only imagine like what they were thinking being from the inside looking out.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. Big Brother is a very crazy. It's like being blipped for that amount of time that you're in there. And then you come out and you're like, whoa.
Or like even LTT when they told them about Trump winning.
Oh my God, that's crazy. But no, they felt like they were in like a movie. Like it didn't feel real because it's like they don't experience that actually happening. They just are being told about it. Which is why I kind of like people being told about stuff.
They definitely should do this more. I like other than this scenario, throughout the season, it had so many moments where they were like filling them in about certain things here and there, which I like.
Yeah, very interesting. After this, we get a segment of the evicted house guests. We kind of go back, see how they were doing after the show. They're all kind of a little bit famous, I guess. Mike is pretending to say hello to people on the sidewalk. Girl, please, let me stop. But
because they were famous, they was feeling themselves. This was the era when the girls would get out the show. Well, I know Survivor. The girls was really famous those seasons. The Big Brother, you think it was the same way for the Big Brother girls?
Not probably exactly the same, but they were still pretty famous, I think. Like I think they were
like, you're on TV, girl.
Yeah. Because like even Krista talks about some like, I didn't get the money, but I'm gonna try to go for the fame route now. And it's like I think they know they have a lot of attention on them. And you remember the fan mail they were showing? Like they were getting so much mail from fans. And it's
that's
like
so crazy
nowadays
because
that
it's
shit don't
like,
happen.
but no, it does. I
Not
was
to
just
that
gonna get
extent,
into that.
but
No,
it
but I
do.
was just gonna get into that. Fan mail is now tweets. Like it's
Period.
like, or like Krista
It
being
is
like,
though.
"Oh, I'm gonna go and be famous now." Like that's us complaining about people getting on the show wanting to be social media influencers. It's like
Yeah.
those same tropes are really there. Like they're using the show for an opportunity to catapult into something else.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That is
always
very
been
true.
there.
So interesting. Because you are on a TV show still at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like
I
you're
mean, you
on
on
TV.
TV.
You're on TV.
I ain't never been
Not
on TV.
everybody's on TV.
I've been on the news before. My school was giving away
Really?
bikes. I got a bike.
I
Did
think
I know
I've been
how to
on the
ride
news
it?
before
No,
too.
but
You got a whole bike? That's period.
my
I think
bike
I've been
I
on the
can
news
ride.
before too.
Yeah.
But that's it. Just the news. Right? Child, I gotta get on TV. So Mike lets her know he feels like Nicole is actually playing the best game. She is. So he eats that one thing up. Love that for him. Shannon talks about Monica and how Monica's a really true person and that she really could win the game. If she gets to the end, she's definitely winning.
Clock that T.
Very on point. Very on point. Very on
That
point.
would have been so nasty if Monica won the first season of the game, girl.
You get to see Danielle do it next season.
Don't piss me off like that. Because you know when I don't get,
This is so much in pain.
Literally, we're in BB2 2001. We don't see it until BB24 2024.
Damn, this is gonna be a long BB rewind, huh? Damn, this is gonna be a long BB rewind.
It's okay. Taylor did it for them.
You're right.
And maybe did too. Shout out.
Shout out to them.
But
Tamar first.
Black woman, we not getting that.
Shout out to Tamar first.
Period. The girl and Tamar gonna make sure you know bitch.
She will
look,
comment under the
don't
video.
Don't let a black person get a stat in Big Brother that Tamar got, bitch, because she gonna remind you of that 3-week celebrity season real quick. Okay.
Like please, but hey, let me stop. That's my girl. Shannon talks about
that was hilarious though. I believe that I was the
girl.
Tamar, girl. We're talking about the 90-day season, please, girl.
You thought we were talking about celebrity?
She played for 20 days.
They don't even got that show no more. That show was over. They did 3 seasons and wrapped it up. Please. Oh God. Shannon talked about how she still got her nigga Jim. But until Will comes out, we'll see how Will is feeling.
Shannon's segment gave very much. I don't know what me and Jim are doing. I don't know what me and Will are doing. I guess we'll see. She was making sure Will got that check before she made a decision.
Yeah,
because honestly, I feel like if Will didn't walk away with a check, because at this point they even playing field.
Child, that's she. Autumn lets us know that she knew some tea before she got in the house. She said 3 weeks before getting on, she was diagnosed with Graves' disease, and that is why now she's been working out. She's lost a lot of weight. And woo. And that's really good for her. She said she gained a lot of weight from it in the house. And so she was already going to plan on trying to lose a lot of weight afterwards. It had nothing to do with you, Shannon.
Period.
The fuck?
Clocked her.
Cheryl, another sad thing. Cheryl done got breast cancer. Oh!
And it was kind of like a blessing in disguise because she got evicted and she found out right after. So it's like she was able to go straight into like looking at her options and booking an appointment and stuff like that. That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. It is, and she's good now. She's still kicking it.
Period.
Vote for Trump shit. Excuse me, Nicole.
I just heard what you said.
Let me stop. Oh, so that ended that segment for now. Those was just the first 4, and then we're gonna go over the next one later on. So we see that Nicole is thinking that she might throw the HOH to Will because she wants to be the good guy and not the bad guy, Chun-Li. So she's trying very, very hard to come across as this good, just caring. You think if you get to final 2 with Will, they're just gonna think, "Oh my God, she just accidentally got there." Girl, shut the. It's like it's annoying me and my home.
Especially with you're saying it. You're literally saying it. It's like, girl, you know they're at home watching, right? And me and Pharaoh was just saying and I think a lot of it also did. Like, you cannot deny that them being not sequestered in the audience has something to do with it. I feel like it's very clear that at this point in the game, Monica has a lot of support. Will has a lot of support. No one likes Nicole.
Yeah.
In the threads I watched, they do not like Nicole and they did not like Hardy, and they definitely hated them both together. And that has kind of been, they have been the big evil villain these last few weeks. It's Hardy and Nicole. We have to get out of here. So it's just like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, once you're evicted and you go home and you're expected to vote at the end, I'm pretty sure they were watching the season. I feel like you start watching as an audience member. And if all of America is rooting for two people and they all hate Nicole, I mean, slightly.
Yeah. How you think I'm gonna feel watching? I feel like there's a lot of votes nowadays, like just throughout history of the show. If I was able to go back and literally watch the show, I probably wouldn't have voted show at. You know, like Davon being capable, she knew Nicole was fake and shady, but you don't really know the T until you watch. Or even if you're just watching Nicole, I mean, Davon wouldn't have watched anyways. But still, if you went home and watched somebody saying something about you, it's very different than your perception of what they said or did. Like, you might have just thought, oh, okay, they was probably being a little mean, but I'm gonna still vote them. But if you're watching the way they were being, that's totally different. I'm not voting your ass. You was talking shit behind me, and this, and then nowadays you got Twitter. You got your fans sending you every single thing they say.
Oh, if they were not sequestering the jury these days,
girl, I mean, I think we have a different winner every season.
The thing is, we honestly saw it in Celebrity Big Brother. Look at the winners of all 3 Celebrity Big Brother seasons. I think that they were pretty much heavily influenced by the audience.
Yeah,
because like Ross in Celebrity Big Brother season 1, a lot of people felt like he had deserved to win it over Marissa. I'm one of those people, no shame. But it's like, I remember being on Twitter during that season. They would clip things that Ross said behind someone's back as soon as they get out of the house. They're sending it over to him. Same with Celebrity Big Brother 2. It's like, I think that's different. Like, they didn't hate Ricky, but like Tamar just played such
she was real, like
game. And the people, they already kind of liked her, but she also argued with some of them, so it was like kind of iffy. But like the audience, it was so like, it was a big push that Tamar was going to win that season, you know. And then definitely with Celebrity Big Brother 3, Todrick. y'all know the Todrick T. Todrick is going to be forever canceled down on social media, and literally, as the people are getting evicted, they're sending all of these receipts of Todrick not playing his dances, Todrick foreclosure on a loan, Todrick did this, and you know,
and then he was just hitting. Then he just played so terribly too. On top of that, that's some of the stuff he talked shit. They clipped the talking shit.
So it's like, I imagine that it was similar back then. Like, unsequestered jury, they have so much I just think outside knowledge from the audience, from just I think it gets a little bit more personal as you keep watching, because who knows what they're going to you may catch a stray randomly in week 6. Bitch, you got out week 3. You don't know. You're going to feel some way.
So after this, we see another segment of the evicted house guests, and they go through the rest of them. So Kent and Bucky are still friends. They still besties. They be calling each other, texting each other, sweet nothings at night. Still telling goodnight.
Don't say that, girl.
All of that. Why not?
Kent gonna haunt your ass.
Bucky has to haunt my ass. Is crazy.
Kent don't play those games.
I'm gonna clip this, Lee. Not haunt my ass. Oh my god. Krista talks about how she's pressed about Nicole. Krista is bitter. Now, if we're gonna talk about a bitter jury,
my good sister is bitter down.
I'm so sorry. And look, all the bad bitches is bitter, because Bailey was bitter. And look, you gotta be you can only be a bad bitch if you bitter. Elena ain't no bad.
Elena was hilarious.
Elena, Bailey, Krista, like you gonna be bitter if you that girl. You gonna be bitter if you that girl. I'd be bitter maybe. That's the thing, Lee. Would you be bitter?
It depends. Like, if you're like, if you did something that personally, the thing is, you shouldn't be doing anything that's gonna personally offend me. Point blank, period. If you do something that personally offend me, that might get included in your final score, babe. Like, if it's a situation where my bestie ends up in final 2, she may not have played the best, but that's been my bitch since day 1, I'm voting them. And if you're someone that, I mean, you didn't necessarily play that great and you were a bitch, no, I'm going to vote my best friend. Or like, just not even for my best friend. Like, I just like them more. If neither one of you play, I just think, amazing games, or both of you play great games, it goes to the person you like more. And I think that's why Big Brother is a social game at the end of the day, because it's all about who likes you more at the end of the day. Because when everything is left out, it comes down to, who do I like more? And I think that's any decision. That's any decision. What food you like, what kind of clothes you gonna wear, the car you want, anything. It's which one do you like more?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I agree. I just feel like I don't think I would be bitter per se, but like you said, it's like everything. Honestly, you know what it is for me? I feel like everything's a factor. I wouldn't feel right calling someone bitter for voting based off every factor. Did you lie to me about evicting me? Or did you play a good game? Did you do this, and this? If you're factoring into everything, and for you, and this is how I feel like it is for every single juror. I think every single juror has a list. And on that list, some things weigh heavily on their vote. Some things don't weigh that heavy. For Bailey, what weighed heavy was how you treated me as I was leaving the motherfucking house. And what didn't weigh that heavy was how good you played the game or not. I didn't give that many fucks. And honestly, I can't say she's wrong for not caring. If she just doesn't care how well you played the game, she just doesn't care. I mean, I'm sorry. She just does not care that much. She cares more about how you treated her. And I feel like it's the Final Two's responsibility to decide how each juror might feel or vote, because every season there's jurors who would vote more emotionally, and every season there's jurors who would vote more strategically. So for the strategic ones, you need to be strategic, and for the ones who are emotional, you need to be emotional. Spirit. That's why at the end of the day, even though Sari is a very great social strategy player, she most likely is going to vote emotionally. So it didn't matter what Jag did. If Jag was not closer friends to the Sari than Matt, he was never getting her vote. And that's what happened. And I just feel like that you have to figure out how people are
if they're in the jury, they have a right to vote that way.
Yeah, you just got to figure out how people want to vote. It's the responsibility of the Final Two. It's Nicole's responsibility to have realized Krista might have been bitter, and she should have changed that trajectory when she saw Krista might be bitter. Let me calm the fuck down. But hey, there's that. Hardy is shocked that Will is an evil doctor. I don't know how. He literally told
Hardy just be in the clouds, child. It's giving Labrador.
Is it? Labrador. Or is it giving Bitchador?
Ooh.
Excuse me. And then that was
all this coughing. You gonna get your mic sick.
My mic sick is crazy. I am sick. I had the flu. I'm getting over the flu. It's a lot going on.
Girl, the flu is getting everybody.
Girl, this is what happened. COVID came, got its 8 hits in, and the flu was like, hold on. You're trying to take my motherfucking crown.
Bitch, I'm the yearly disease in this bitch.
Girl, just
and she said she getting everybody. Y'all better get your flu shot. We are not sponsored. Go get your flu shot.
After this, we get to the final part of the final part HOH, the final 3 HOH. So it's part 3. She's gonna ask 7, very similar to how it is nowadays, kind of.
Yes.
It's 7 questions. It's about the past house guests, but sometimes it's about other stuff other than the house guests. And
I like these questions more. It's more just straightforward.
It is. They even talked about it. They were like, "This is kind of easy." Not gonna lie.
Because the new questions be like, "I be getting stumped, bitch." They be like, "Oh, I'm Lee, and I didn't win veto the second week. I was nominated next to what? Oh, I won my 3rd HOH before I lost their 4th veto." Like, girl,
I feel like I haven't saw a final HOH. Well, probably I have, but in recent history, where it wasn't just 1 point off. Like, it seems like
they be eating.
It seems like they'll just get one wrong. Like Will got one wrong.
I know my sister. You know which one sucked? Tyler and Casey sucked so bad. They were getting like multiple ones wrong together in a row. I remember that.
And this is why at the end of the day, I say JC would have won that season, because he only didn't beat Casey because he was shorter than her in part 2.
Honestly, everything happened for a reason, child. Because JC,
you're right.
He would have funded a whole campaign.
Trump campaign, child. You're right. You're right.
And Casey needed that money for her nanny. Don't remind me of Vanessa and Steve. That was the one that really pissed me off. Because I wanted Vanessa to win this season so bad by the end of it.
I was not emotionally invested in that one.
It's like I get to a point in these seasons where like I want an outcome that I can be happy about.
What outcome do you want here?
What?
On BB2. What outcome do you want here?
I would have wanted Nicole to win, but I don't mind Dr. Will winning. It's fine with Dr. Will. Usually it's. I think if I was watching live, it would be different. Like I knew what was gonna happen. But like for example, BB25, I was going hard for Jag because I had decided that is the only way I'm gonna like this season. Ceree's not gonna win. I had no faith in Felicia by the time it was Final Four. No Shay, my sister. I was like, Jag needs to win, and if he didn't win, I was gonna be annoyed. Or like I feel like 17, it was that example. It was like I don't care for anyone. Vanessa has been running the game. We haven't had a woman winner in a minute. She is going to be the best woman winner if she wins. No shade.
Yeah.
She needs to win. And then she didn't. At Final 3, next to Steve, which I will say, I think Steve is better than Ian, which is another conversation. So I'm not upset that Steve kind of, rode those coattails and got that win at the end. But it's just like, it's such a... Like, you can just drag that strategy so bad. Like, you can just, like...
Will is kind of that strategy.
Not respectable. He basically said it himself. He wrote Nicole's coattails. He did. Yeah. But he has charisma, where Steve was a little B-boy, and he took out my faves. It was a lot. It was a lot.
It is. Because Will, that is the OG. I feel like Will's strategy here is the OG Steve strategy, where you find out who the baddest bitch in the house is, make sure they think you're their son, and then you take them out because you're not really their son. And it's like you said, Will has so much more to no shade. But also Will came back.
Will has a lot more. Like his personality is that what saves him a lot.
Honestly, yes. Yes. And his like awareness. And honestly, he also got what I will say about Will is I think he got not the help, but the privilege of playing in a time where they're going to show everyone's game. We didn't know what Steve was doing. And then he took out Vanessa. But if Steve was edited like this season, we would have knew everything Steve was thinking. Down to why he chose to take out the Gremlins, down to why how long he knew Vanessa was that girl. Was it from day one and he just automatic like that would have made his game that much more compelling. And that's another thing. That's another issue with the edit. They want to guess every time who their winner is. They're just guessing Tyler's going to win this season. Let's just show everything Tyler does. And then he lost. Bitch, we don't know shit about
Same with Paul. Like,
same with Paul. Let's just show the game through the lens of Paul. And then the nigga lost. If Cody would have lost BB22, we would have been looking stupid as fuck because what the fuck was everybody else doing? We don't know. Like, y'all get lucky, bitch. Y'all get lucky.
And that is another plus with the edited show with New Era BB. I do think seasons 23 to 25 have done a good job at spreading out who is getting the POV lens.
Yeah,
I can't pinpoint any. That's like 23. I wanted it to be Tiffany, but she didn't even get it.
In 25, it was heavily Cerise for a while. It was heavily.
I do take that back. It was heavy Cerise at the beginning of 25. You're right, because they are so obsessed with that fucking strategy of editing that they could not stop it. But you're right, it was heavily Cerise. But Cerise was also running that entire game. Like, you know, they kind of forced it a bit with some other people. Like, I think Paul, Tyler, a lot of weeks, it was like, it did not need to be all them. Cerise was actually like, shit was not moving unless Cerise said it was moving.
Yeah,
but
and that's on period.
Towards the second half, I feel like it kind of bounced around a lot more.
Yeah.
Which was, it was fully bouncing around in 23 and 24.
Yeah, they've done better at being more accurate, I feel. Like, back in the day, it just had no accuracy. They kind of just followed. Like, even like BB13, if Portia would have won BB13, it's like, that's a shame because y'all didn't show us shit about her because I was too focused on Danielle and Rachel and them. So, hey, we moved. How did we get there? We're in BB2. Anyways, so in BB2, what's going on? You're right, girl. Nicole done won the final part HOH. And Will and Monica give their speeches. They basically say, you got to do what you got to do. Good luck, bitch. Nicole goes to the diary room, and in the diary room, Julie asks her thoughts. And she asked her why she didn't throw the HOH after she said she was thinking of it. Nicole was like, I'm just too competitive. I can't. Julie asked, what do you think you've done best to make it this far in the game? And Nicole was like, well, I just wanted to be honest and truthful. But then halfway through the game, I found out. And this is the thing. I actually like this genuine diary room than I do her speech because she says, I wanted to be honest and truthful. But halfway through the game, I found out that The Untouchable was going on. It was a lot going on. So I had to play this cutthroat, hardcore game, and I don't give a fuck.
It's like, you should have led with that.
You should have led with that.
Because this is you. This is literally you. She says at the end, too. I think, like, that's exactly what it is. It's like she was in game mode ever since week 1 when she was almost out the door.
Mm-hmm. And just say that. And it's like, and what I love about what she said here was I wanted to be truthful and honest because she knows she wasn't actually. Yeah. And when she's talking to the jury, she's pretending that she was actually that when she knows she wasn't because she said it in the room.
What she likes to say is, I'm as honest as much as I could be. I told them as much truth as I can. And it's like,
you can't be fully honest and you're not.
Or like even when she's and that's what Monica likes to hear when she's like going to evict. I have to do this because I promised my husband. Like, you don't gotta tell her that. Tell Monica, because also it makes it seem like, well, you're doing like she says, you're doing it for you. Tell me why I should go home. Because I'm that girl.
Period.
You respect me. I'm a great player, and you know you lose. Because if you send people home with that, like, they're gonna feel like, I was that bitch.
Yeah.
I was gonna win. She knew, and she clocked it, and she's smart for clocking it. Because I was gonna be that bitch.
I gotta respect it because she clocked it, but she didn't do that. Instead, she said, I have 3 reasons. I have a 3-part moral dilemma. Part 1 is Monica, you're just such a great person. Part 2 is Will, because Will is just so conflicting in my head. And then part 3 is my husband, Jeff. And my husband, Jeff, will want me to do the best thing I can to win this game. So, Monica, I just have to give you, girl, shut the fuck up.
But it's like, on top of that, you spent the entire week telling me you don't like Will. Morally,
and that nigga gotta go, and we can't let him. We can't let him get to the end. We can't let him do this. You lied the entire week, and at the last minute, you still lied, and you couldn't even boss up and tell me why you was evicting me. Instead, you made it about yourself, and you told us a speech about yourself.
You cried on my eviction night. Why are you crying and I'm getting evicted?
Shut Nicole.
I hate it so bad. I hate it so bad because I just feel like I definitely think she wins a modern season. I do. I can definitely see her, especially if she had knowledge of Big Brother going in, because she's a very capable player. I think it's just definitely. I want to say her social game was bad. Like, she had circles of people wanting to work with her.
It's not her social game, it's her jury management. Jury management is a lot of people's problem. That's what Tyler's problem is. Tyler's problem was never really, I feel, his social game throughout the game. It was more so the way he managed people as they left the house, or people's perception of him. It's, you have to manage the perception of you.
And Will,
that's what Will does.
Did perfectly. Girl. He manipulated the perception of himself.
Yeah. To make people feel like, even Hardy, like, he makes them think they're cool with him. He makes them feel cool with him. He makes them feel like they're actual friends. Nicole says she's their friend, but she doesn't make them feel that way in any capacity. She just says it and then pretends to cry. And that's the issue. You have to make people see you in a certain light. But yeah, after this, Monica goes out and she interviews Julie. Monica says that Nicole's speech was for her, and it was for Nicole, and it was not for me. It had nothing to do with me. And on her way walking out, she had mentioned to Will, she was like, it's on finale.
It's on, baby.
It's on, baby. And she told Nicole walking out that she had like a long speech. And at first I was like, is this positive or negative? But it wasn't positive, because she was like, Nicole, she was like,
see, Monica is real nice, nasty.
She was like, don't worry, baby. I knew this is exactly what you was gonna do. I knew exactly what you was gonna do.
But see, I feel like, honestly, as a Black person, I was like, I tell immediately that she was reading her down. No, it's okay, darling. I understood. I get it. No, I knew this is what you were gonna do. I know this. Like, this is who you are. When someone shows you who you are, you know exactly, like, this is you. And I knew exactly.
I would have been surprised if you saved me. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised right now. I'm actually not surprised at all.
Darling, you're good. It's fine. I love Monica.
So Julie asked her about both those things. And about the Nicole thing, she says that Nicole just needs to honestly work on a lot of things. I feel like Nicole has brought energy into this to where she's not happy doing what she needs to do. And she would be more happy if she worked on the things she needs to work on. And when it came to it's on, what did you mean about that with Will? Monica says that
she won't get my vote.
She means she won't get my vote. 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 Nicole is fake sad in the diary room again on her goodbye message. You're not sad.
This girl didn't cry everybody diary room message.
Literally everybody.
Nicole.
She thought she
you know what's another thing with Nicole too? It's like, and that's the thing. I think it's also because this is BB2. She's creating jury management. Technically, like she's like the building blocks of understanding what this concept is. So like I understand, I get why it's not perfect because she didn't know what the fuck she was doing realistically. It's the first ever season. But it just gave like surface level and I think it's because of that. It gave, if I say the right things, they'll just believe it. No. You crying doesn't make me believe you're actually sad. You know, like me seeing you say these things do not make it true. Like you said that earlier, like you have to make them actually feel that. I don't feel like you're actually sad about me leaving. I feel like you're lying and you knew I was leaving the entire time, and now I'm home and you crying in my goodbye message. You could have cried to me in the house.
Period. The fuck.
And which she should have done. Maybe that would have worked.
Or work more, girl. So Monica Lee. Well, actually, she can't go home because 9/11 is a lot going on. But she'll be back.
Girl, I wouldn't get on the plane. Girl, let me go. I would go on the belly, go on the Mike Boogie bar. But you got a room because girl, I am not flying.
Child, and Julie talks to the final two. This was kind of cute. I kind of like that she talked.
I love the fact that the finale is with just the final two. Let's bring this back. Why
bring it back, Lee?
Bring it back. Why do we have the jury talking about 3 people when they're not even considering voting? One of them will not be even up for a vote. Well, why? And they are going to be one of the ones voting.
So there should be another week.
I always thought it was so sloppy how the third person just gets out at the finale and they don't know what the fuck is going on. Not another week, another round, because they don't need a full week. They just need another round to get that person out. I don't get why. Or this entire final 3 process needs to happen before the last episode. Like how this last episode was created, I loved it. I
liked it a lot too.
I don't understand why we're talking about, because they try to make the finale this live experience where we get down to the final 2 live and we vote for the player live. And I don't mind all of that. I think that's cute. Maybe you can keep some of those live aspects, but I don't understand why the third person who's going to be voting isn't at the round table, not discussing the final 2. We're discussing between the final 2. I just don't get it.
No, you like
how Survivor does it is perfectly. We're voting between 3 people in Survivor. We give them a day. The next day, we talk to all 3 and we decide right there.
Mm-hmm. Why could just be a day? Yeah, a day is enough for them to edit an episode. They do it all the time because Wednesday, Thursday episodes is right there. So I feel like if the third person is evicted that Monday, and then finales on Thursday, that's enough time. Or even Tuesday. Like there was so much time where Azza, Big D, and Xavier were just sitting there.
Playing spades, cards, dominoes.
Azza could be at home. Azza could be at home. Or in the jury. Voting at the jury round table. Azza could have made it to the jury round table because instead she was just sitting there. So honestly, yeah, I agree.
And I would much rather that person's commentary on everything. They're getting out of the house. They don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, Turner is a prime example. Turner only voted Monty because he was not informed of the tea. My sister could have won unanimously in that week.
Clock it. But they wanted to have him in the house doing nothing. Losing. Child. So she asked them if they regret anything. Nicole mentioned she regrets the whole Krista week because she feels like it was based off misinformation. Will says he regrets a lot of things because he feels like he has hurt feelings about a lot of things. And I feel like this was a depiction of how they was gonna do in a jury segment because I feel like Nicole just kind of not made it about herself, but like she just was like, oh, it was a specific thing and I got misinformation, and that was the issue. And Will was just like, I mean, I did a lot of things wrong, honestly.
Not taking accountability. And that's the truth. It comes down to you're not taking accountability for the shit you did. Nicole, you ran this season. You took out every single person. Own up to that. But in the same sense, I'm saying that I realize this is BB2. That is not going to be, that may not have even been the game-winning pitch. I'm just saying, like, that could have been another option to what she did. But it's like, I think maybe if she could have led up with that, it would have kind of went with the more, we see you as a genuine person thing. Like, because that is what she's doing. She's running them and she's taking them out. If she said that, then, okay, well, girl, I'm in the same boat as Will. We're both real. And I'm real and took all y'all out. So, now what? Yeah. But I understand why she wouldn't think to lead with that, because I feel like the early season of Big Brother, it is mainly the social aspect of it, how you make people feel, how you have created these relationships throughout the game and things like that. So
I
it's
think
really
Nicole
iffy.
just needed to make a better decision. I think her decision should have either been go with Top to the end and not use Will as a scapegoat and not play like you can still play the game like Krista. Krista was probably still gonna get the votes because you can still play the game. It was the whole using Will so blatantly in people's faces and then pretending to be cool with them and all of this other. I feel like she should have just stick with Top. If she would have stuck with Top, her and Hardy could have made final two, and she damn sure would have won over
So
Hardy.
maybe honestly, you think maybe the mistake was taking out Krista and Monica, like she nominated them the week that week.
She should just took out Will there.
She should have Will.
But the issue with that is, at that point, Krista might just win.
But do she?
You have. I think she
depends.
has to take a risk. You have to either you have to take a risk, and her risk would have been going to the end with Top, knowing Krista has so much power. And in that risk, she still could have won the game. She could have just won the HOH. Her and Hardy won so many of those HOHs. She won the final HOH. She definitely still could have won the game with the risk of taking Krista. It's just a risk instead of her knowing there's a path where she definitely gets the final three with two of the best people. But the issue with BB2 and early Big Brother is it's less about strategy and it's more about the social game. And in future Big Brother, being the most strategic and making sure you're the best embedded in the game is better. But in the game she was playing, that was not the better move. In the game she was playing, the better move was to be loyal to the big group of people. And then she probably could have won the game. Or just be like Will and say you're a bitch and you're not going to be loyal. But that's crazy to think of.
And in the same sense, I also wouldn't be surprised if they didn't proceed with the same.
Yeah. So there's that. I think she should have just went with Top. I think she just should have went with Top, never voted him out, never took out Krista. And if she loses, she loses. She lost anyway.
I think the main issue, if she was able to still separate Hardy from Krista, then definitely. If she was not able to separate Hardy from Krista, then it would have been way more dangerous because that would have mean they're in the end game with Monica and Krista. Monica wants the final 4 HOH. I think Bunky still Bunky was worried about Hardy. And it's like, if you're in final 4 with Monica, Bunky, Krista, girl, she's losing. She's getting 4th.
Yeah. But I think at final 5, if Hardy's HOH, I don't think she allows Bunky to go. She makes sure it's Monica. So then final 4 would be her, Krista, Hardy, Bunky. And Bunky is not turning on her.
Bunky might still go. And she could be in final 2 with Krista.
And she could be probably with Krista, Hardy, and herself. Then it's
she could just have to win and take Bunky. She probably could beat Bunky, though.
She could be in that world. She could probably be a lot of people in that world.
In that world, because she probably could get Monica, Hardy. She wouldn't get Bunky. Well, Bunky, she didn't get Bunky vote anyway, technically.
Yeah, but in that world, it's just you played a more straight. And that's the thing. In that world, Krista's probably the one who's more headed because you flip flop the whole time. Kent and Bunky were pissed at Krista. Kent would probably still be pissed at Krista in the world where you.
But you know what? That was building. That was building, and then when she took her out, it all transferred to Nicole.
Yeah, it did. It did. Krista was being looked at very sideways, babe. So I think the path, which is anti-intuitive, is to be less strategic and just go with Krista, which is it's just hard. You're basically telling her to be less of a good player. But I think it's better in this season where it's more about social.
It's like
which is why
like she got out of top 6, so it's really dangerous to say, "Oh, I can just wait for another week." Like, girl, it's top 6.
And we're gonna get into BB3 because this is like a dilemma within Nicole, but in BB3 we see it within 2 players. The way Lisa plays and the way Danielle plays, we see strategy versus kind of social straight up in your face. And it's like in these earlier seasons, it's better for the most part to just be more social rather than be more strategic, which is crazy, but it's true, honestly. But anyways, after this we get to is this what did we just talk about? No,
I think we're sliding into the last episode.
The finale. We're sliding into the finale. There's a big segment about how Will and Nicole got here, but we all know how they got here, so we're not gonna go through. Then we get to the jury roundtable. And girl, what a just casual conversation this was.
I
Like,
really
what
like.
do people want?
I hate how fast they went through it. I would have loved to just see like this raw, unedited footage
Mm-hmm.
because they were really just putting on the floor, bitch. Like I have a problem with what you said here, bitch. I got an issue. Why did you say this there? This entire concept, I really enjoy like them talking here and then going inside of the house to meet them and then they vote. I just think like they
You know
had
what I wish
something.
we got more
They had
of?
something here.
I wish we got more of this, the jury talking about each other or what stuff pissed them off within each other as well.
The
Because
round
one of
table
the
now is
moments
so short and stupid.
it is, and one of the moments I love about one of the newer roundtables was Kylan talking about how he felt Hannah was interchangeable with Big D, and that caused apparently a long argument that we didn't get to see, but a short argument on the actual show. And it's like it's because Hannah is right there. Yeah. Like you're talking to these people who are right there. And it's like, I do wish we kind of got to see more how the jury was feeling about each other because there's always so much animosity. BB22, Danny was beefing with David and Kevin, and David and Kevin had beef with Davon, and Davon had been in the game with Kevin, best friends. What's going on there? Even when we saw Davon argue with what's that boy name on BB18? Paulie. It's like those are great ass moments. And we stopped getting BB jury segments just all together. They just stopped showing them. And it's probably not as much drama, but babe, I want to know. I want to know.
But I mean, I think I enjoy seeing them talk about the game and relive and like even hash out arbitrary things like this. Like it just sucks that the jury roundtable segment, it feels like it's even shorter. Like the BB25 one, you blink and you miss it.
Yeah, 100%. I don't remember what happened. Was Mimi there? Nope, she wasn't in the jury.
Yeah, 7-person jury. I wonder if they're gonna keep that.
Hopefully not. Don't like it. Don't like it. So we start the jury roundtable, and Mike is basically pressing the other people, and he's like, "Are y'all gonna finally admit that y'all ain't shit? Because Chilltown, we still gonna be friends after this. Like we still gonna be cool. I'm still gonna rock with each other. But Mike, are y'all gonna rock with each other? Are y'all gonna be friends?" And it's like, girl, calm down.
No, but what they got to do with anything? Literally, the gag is, are you friends with Will?
Or are you in jail? Oh, no more. Ooh. But anyways, he's basically like, yeah, because we didn't do that scheming and shit, and y'all did. And Hardy and Bucky was like, hold on. Yes, y'all definitely did the scheming and shit. And Mike was like, okay, but y'all did the same thing. And Bucky was like, I mean, we're not denying it. And he's like, you're not denying it now. You were denying it in the house. But it's like, we're not in the house no.
We're not in the house. We're voting.
We right here. Of course, we was denying.
Mike clearly is pressed as hell.
Very mad, very upset child. Krista mentions that Hardy surprised her because Hardy was saying all those negative things about if she wins the money, he's scared about what she's going to do with it.
Which was hella weird.
But that was very weird.
Because you act like, I'm praying for you, I love you so much, and as soon as something goes wrong, I don't know what she's going to do with the money. I would hate if she won the money.
What? And Hardy was like, at the end of the day, I'm true at heart. And, I wouldn't do. And it's like, okay. Boo. And that's basically what Krista was saying. Like, girl, shut the anyways. But he's trying to say, oh, there was things that said and done that we didn't know, and we were all under the same impression of we didn't know. And it's like, okay. Anyways, Shannon had an issue with Bunky because Bunky was bashing her, and she didn't know because Bunky was eating her up about that. And Bunky was basically like, I mean, I was bashing you because you act like this. You act like a weirdo. Like,
that was hilarious. It gave girl. I mean, we all know you're a bitch. Like
it's funny because he said it in the diary room first, and I was like, "Oh, he ain't even gonna say it to her face," but he said it.
Nah, Bunky, he got them fan letters. Bunky, you could tell Bunky energy for the finale was like, okay, yeah,
like he knew he was that girl.
I'm the star of the season.
Very
bitch.
well, like I think he was
Big
well
brother
liked.
Too.
I think he was well liked, and that's why he was invited back as a potential
all-star.
So, I think if there was, you know what, Lee, if there was America's favorite house guest, I think he would have won. I think he would want America's favorite house guest.
By this point, yeah.
They don't like Hardy. America hates Hardy at this point.
I forgot. Because he was getting all of the, he's the most loved.
Yeah, but at the end, you remember Bunky started getting the call from home.
You're right.
Bunky started getting it. So I think by the end of the season, like I think Monica's liked, but Monica
probably could have got it.
Who?
Monica probably could have got it.
Monica could have got it, but I think Bunky would have took the cake. I do.
Why?
So there's that.
Why?
Why I think Bunky would have won.
Yeah, like
I don't see America voting a black woman.
Like,
if I'm being honest.
No shade. Well, like, why did they?
What?
Like, out of 11 house guests,
Lee. Child. Anyway.
Let me stop, because look. Estella said she liked Monkey. I would love to see Monkey play the whole way. He played there. I agree with that. If Monkey acted the way he acted towards the end the entire time, I think I would be way more on the Monkey train.
I know.
I just don't I didn't understand how Hardy was America's fave, and I don't understand how Monkey is America's fave.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't have been my fave.
Other than Monica, because of course yours would be Monica, but America don't like black people. So
it would be Monica, Krista, Nicole. I mean, I don't
think America would like Krista. They'd be like, oh, she's a sliding horn. That's the thing. I'm thinking about America, and I know how America is.
I get what you're saying. I get it.
So, anyways, but yeah, I think because that's the thing in future BB, he probably would have been a shoe-in for All Stars because he probably would have been just America's favorite player, and he probably would have made it just because of that. But he didn't make it. Boo-hoo. Sorry. But I actually wouldn't mind to seeing just more people in general. They only had 13. That was weird. Boom. They all talk about how Will is still there. They're surprised about that. And then they start jumping around a lot. This segment got really weird. But at the end of the day, we see Mike and Autumn talk about how Nicole ate it up. And it seems like no one else is saying Nicole ate it up. Just Mike and Autumn. That was weird. But it's like, give her 10s. And they wasn't.
Give her 10s.
It was getting very weird. But this is when we get into the jury questioning, which I love because each person asks their own question to each finalist.
And
that's how a question should go.
And it wasn't on this I feel like time frame. Like it felt like it was so relaxed, which I just think it just gave them the opportunity to just express themselves a lot more.
Yeah, they really should bring back a better questioning. 100%.
They can't because they're trying to do it all live. They get an hour and 30 minutes.
And that's it.
And they got to fit everything in there.
If you don't do it live that first hour, we should start off the first hour doing the questioning. Like, why are we doing the questioning in the last 10 minutes? Do you know it'd be like the last 15 minutes of the episode? Literally. And we doing the questioning. That's stupid as fuck. And then Julie be rushing it. Okay, hurry up. These are first of all, they're reading the questions off a card. It's just stupid. Anyways, Cheryl asked Nicole, convince her why she should be the winner. And Nicole was like, well, I've done my best to just be trusting and to treat people so great and just treat people good and work hard.
She was like, I was more truthful than him. And they were like,
and it's like,
well, no.
Well, no. And it's like, that was her answer. Like, you should vote me because I've been truthful. If you're wrong, I worked hard, I guess. I'm considerate. Wrong. Like, half the shit you said was wrong. So you didn't really even give her a reason to vote for you. Like, come on now. Will says, she asked Will the same question, and Will says he doesn't have a great argument because he came in the house to lie, mix things up, and he feel like he did that.
He fully thought going into this that he was losing regardless.
He did. He thought he was losing to Monica.
And I feel like maybe that's why his final speech was weird and kind of the way it was.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I don't give it. It gave like, okay, we here. I'm gonna complete it, and that's it. Autumn asked Will what qualifies him to judge other people. And Will was like, it's not just one thing that qualifies me. There's multiple things that qualify me. And it's like, oh my God, what's happening? Autumn asked Nicole, who have you actually been loyal to? Nicole says, you, Bunky, and Hardy as much as I could. And it's like, girl.
She loves as much as I could.
I mean, you got those votes, I guess. Shannon asked Nicole, do you think you've been more evil or do you think Chilltown was more evil than yourself? And Nicole was like, I don't know when I was evil.
And it's like that.
And it's like, don't be dense. Here you go with the dense shit again.
That's definitely a moment where it's like, if they're asking you that question, I don't really understand because like Paul was like this a lot during his jury questioning. They'd ask a question and he'd pretend confused and be like, well, I don't think that I was manipulating you guys. I just think that, and it's like, no, be real. Tell us why we're saying you're evil. So tell us why you're evil or explain why you had to be that way. Don't try to, well, I wasn't evil. No, I wasn't that way. Clearly, if the question is coming up, that's how you're perceived. So work it in a way that can help you. That's when you tell them, that's when you say, week 2, I wasn't liked by anyone. I was almost out of this game and I had to flip myself around. I realized that at some points I was not happy-go-lucky, nice Nicole, but I'm walking around here, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm washing to just stay in this game. Like, really tug at the heart.
Come on, Lee, you should have been Nicole at the
girl.
moment. You should have handled her. Do that Ouija board, child, something.
Bye. Girl, I was one. in Pampers.
Dang. If only. If only what? What am I saying? Just asked Will, where does he see himself in 6 months? He says with her, that was real cute. Mike asked 2 dumbass questions. Kent asked Nicole, are you ashamed of some of the things you did in the house? And she says, throwing the HOH for you, Kent, because throwing the HOH. Girl, shut the fuck up. Every answer Nicole gave, I was like, oh, shut up. Shut up.
That's what you were saying, juror. You wouldn't have voted Nicole.
This is my thing. Honestly, this is the situation with these two. This situation with these two people, and we talked about it. In a way, they both did play good. And these jurors kind of have been saying that, and they say it a little more later on. They both did play good. And some of them genuinely believe Will play better, allegedly. I don't think I would believe Will play better. I think I would know Nicole play better. So I think I would just vote Nicole. But she gives me a bad taste in my mouth. She would give me a bad taste in my mouth if I was.
Damn, I didn't want to vote you now.
I really don't want to vote you, but you didn't play that good. But some people think Will play good enough, so I really don't want to vote Nicole, and Will play good enough. I'm gonna just give him my vote. And it's like now they kind of have an excuse. I can't be mad at them for voting Will. Will did play good enough. If this was just a dud who flopped their whole time being here, then I would be mad. Yeah. But it's not. It's Will. Like he played fine. It's okay. So Kent wants to hype himself up. Not better than Mother. And we know that. I thought everybody knew that.
Well, the jury didn't, clearly.
Kent wants to hype himself up, so he's like, Will, you said that I knew everything going on in the house. Tell me more about that.
Right. Like, girl, what kind of question is this?
And Will just tells him more about it. Krista bitter. So she asked Will, you threw competitions in. You said you threw the HOH that got me out, that got Mike out, that got Shannon out. So what's the tea? And Will was basically like, I take full responsibility of that. I did do that. And I feel so sorry. And then she asked Nicole,
what God do you believe in?
Lee, what would you say to that?
If you even believe in God.
What would you say? Because this is a trick question. I'm so confused. What do I
Girl, I wouldn't even answer. I was like, are you asking a real question? Because clearly I'm not getting your vote. Like, I wouldn't even answer that. Because, like, literally was bitter as hell. I believe in the devil. Now what? Shit. What do you want, Krista? You mad? You're still mad, Krista? That's what I would have said.
Nicole said she believes in making her own destiny, though. So that's wonderful for her. Bunky is also a little bitter. Because Bunky asked, so Nicole, your initial plan was to get there with you and Hardy. So tell me why I should vote you if it was you and Hardy.
Like, girl, that's not what's happening.
That's not what's happening. This would be me. I would be like, I'm gonna tell you about why you should have voted me then and why you should vote me in this current situation. Period. I feel like I just played the best.
Come on.
Truly. Whether it was next to Hardy, whether next to Will, whether it was next to you, I genuinely played this game with my heart from the beginning to the end, and I made sure I did what I needed to do to get to the end to the final 2 sheets. And I'm here at the final 2 seats. So Bunky, if you want to vote for the person who played the best, vote for me.
I'm like, I would. It would be hard for me not to get defensive with certain questions. Like, girl, don't ask me no stupid shit.
Oh my God, you can't get defensive.
Cause why you asking me that shit?
Oh my God, even this?
Don't ask me why was I mean.
Lee, we all felt like you were very mean to us. Why were you mean to us?
Was I mean or are you weak? No.
Oh my God, you're never with it.
We felt like you were our friend. I kind of meant the question's like,
I got you.
Okay.
Lee, a lot of the jurors feel like you pretended to be our friends to get further in the game. Can you tell us why you did that?
Yes, I did. It's a game. Why would I not? Like, that's how I would want to answer that question. Like, what do you mean? You pretended to be our friend. And if I did?
Okay, ask me. Okay,
Pharaoh. Some of the jurors feel like you just were not actually caring about us and that you were only here for the game. What do you say to that?
Ooh. I'm so sorry that y'all feel that way. And I honestly understand if I was in your position and I thought someone was my friend and I just treated you like this, I would feel the same way. I would be sad too. So it really just comes down to how you want to vote. If you want to vote the person who played the best game, at the end of the day, it's me. I do regret some of the things I did, but regardless, I did them because I felt like it was necessary for me to get to the final 2 seats. So that is why I did what I did. I love y'all regardless, whether you hate me, whether you love me, whether you feel anything about me. I love y'all regardless, and do what you got to do with your vote. Because I'm not really answering the question because girl, shut the fuck up. But also I'm answering the question because you know what you do? You take somebody's question and you answer a totally different question. That's what I did. I answered, why should you vote for me to win? That's what I answered. And that's not what you asked. And it's like, that's what you got to do. Nicole didn't do that. So Bucky asked Will, what percent of money were you giving to charity?
Also,
Lee, what percent of money? This is another dumb question?
Okay. It's a dumb question because it's like, why? Like, we're voting who the winner of Big Brother is. Why are you coming with that to say, like, this
if his criteria to win is you need to give something to charity?
I just don't think it's another question. Like, this is your shot to really understand who you're voting for, and you're gonna ask that.
He's seen the
You could have figured that out in the house.
Yeah, he knew the answer. Will said 0. Will was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm none. I'm not. I would give money to charity for sure.
I think definitely that gave, because he basically said at the end he didn't vote him because of that. And it's like, girl, not 9/11 just happened, and you talking about not giving to nothing. Like, and like, give something to somebody first or something.
And honestly, Will did not need. He was a doctor at this moment, so I mean, he doesn't need the money. He's just literally going to blow it,
and that's what.
Which is like why you could probably blow a little on charity, no. But I don't care. I don't care what another nigga doing with the money. Me personally, I would never care. Not never. But for the most part, I don't necessarily care what you do with the money. Unless you're talking about some, I'm definitely going to fund Trump's campaign. Bitch, you ain't never getting my vote. I don't care if you played the best game in Big Brother history. You could have got out Dr. Will, Dan, and Tiffany in the same week. I don't give a fuck. You are never getting my vote. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely not something I would ever consider in my vote. I think a lot of people do that sometimes. They're like, oh, this person deserves the money, or this person, they don't need the money. I wouldn't care.
I think I would.
I'm not looking at who needs the money. I'm looking at who deserves to win the game. You could be the most privileged. You could be a high class billionaire walking in there. If you played the best game, you kind of deserve it. I don't know what to tell you.
I think if I'm conflicted on who played the best game, then I would consider it. Other than that, I'm never considering it. Like if I'm conflicted on who played the best game, y'all both good friends with me. I kind of don't care who wins, and y'all both just play mid. Like you played okay. Then I think I would consider it a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie. Like for me personally, Jag and Matt, that was a situation where I'm voting a little bit past the gameplay and more so Jag is a sick Punjabi man. I'm voting for him regardless. Period. If Matt was Jag, if Matt was a sick Punjabi man and he was a minority and Jag was white, I would probably vote Matt. Like in that situation, for me, it would probably come down to
they didn't play similar games, but we're not gonna wake that tea back up.
They definitely didn't, but they
so that should have been an obvious.
But even if Matt was black and he played exactly how Matt played, I'm voting Matt. Don't care. He's black in that final 2, and that's my point. He played good enough to where I'm voting you.
He didn't even play good enough
to where I'm voting him as he's black. He did to me. He did to me.
Maybe it's the Matt comparison. I can't get into that. We're not bringing that tea back up.
It can never get Matt for you. It can never get Matt for
you. I've made my decision.
Boom. After this, Hardy asked his question. He asked, Will, why should I vote you over Nicole? Will said you shouldn't. Do you feel like that's a stupid question too? I kind of don't like those types of questions. Unless
she didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. It was so out of the blue and random.
That's like, because then he asked Nicole, why do you think I should vote you after you told Will during the time we were nominated that you brought up Shannon? And you brought up Shannon and you said, do what Shannon will want to do. Why should I vote you after you did that?
But see, this don't even matter because apparently he only asked this to throw Will off, apparently.
To throw Will off for what?
The vote. Because, they get the nullify vote. So he's saying that he wanted to kind of make it seem like he was.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So this was him playing the game.
That nigga don't know what he doing. Monica says, Nicole, when Jeff sent you a banner that said, love you, get Will out, why you didn't do that? Nicole was like, he said stay in torment, Will. My thing is, I thought he
And
kind of
she
meant get
tormented
Will
him the
out
final
too.
too.
It's like you didn't even torment. I kind of thought he meant get him out as well. But hey, that's her husband. She know what he meant, I guess. But
Right.
she said the reason that I'm sitting here with Will and not with you is because I promised my husband I'm gonna take the nigga who I can beat better, and you can't even beat him. So you should have just took Monica at that point, honestly. Monica says, Will, at the beginning you called me stupid. Do you still think I'm stupid? Will, he answered this really nicely because he was like, look, I'm not going to lie and say we was cool at the beginning of the game because we wasn't. But by the end of the game, I have nothing mean to say about you. I'm fucking with you for real. So I like that. Then they got into their final speeches. How did you feel about their final speeches, Lee?
I thought Nicole gave a pretty decent speech, especially in comparisons to Will. I think Will really
Yeah.
got up there and started saying anything, and I think this is kind of like he didn't think he was going to win, so he's like, fucking balls to the wall. I have to give a legendary speech and go out with a bang. And he
Mm-hmm.
still won, even with this crazy ass speech. It's like, okay.
After the speech, yeah, they had a bunch of diaries. They were like, we thought Will had it. And then that speech, my nigga, what is that? I'm going to not vote for you because of the speech. Because of the speech. And it's like, dang, child. But boom, they go in, they give their votes, and then the jury speaks to Julie. She didn't ask shit the whole time. And then after she's done questioning all of them, Mike Boogie proposes to Krista. This is so awkward because I don't think she wanted to say yes.
Yeah, like when she
She
sat
did
there
not
for a
seem like
minute
it.
and he was like, well, say yes or no. And she was like, yes. And then when she put the ring on, she kind of sat there. She was like, but they
Yeah,
broke up like not too long after. Like,
yep. Because why are you proposing me? I don't know you like that. I guess they were hanging out outside of the house because they wasn't in jury or anything, but
right.
still, like, ooh, that's kind of. It was
Definitely
just so
given
scary.
he definitely gives hope is romantic because didn't he show me as Erica in BB7 too?
Yeah, but apparently, like that one was more for the game only, on
Mm.
purpose, and that he didn't actually want her. Which makes sense considering how it went down. But this one, I guess he was really in love, and it's like, oh, she don't love you back.
At all. It's
Sorry.
given she
I
said
felt like
yes.
for her, she was
She
just having
said yes
fun.
for the camera. She said okay.
That's sweet, honestly, because to say no is crazy. To say no to a proposal, it's like
On national TV.
on national TV or just in general. I'm kind of like, don't. It's kind of like, oh, just say no later. Just say yes, and then pull them to the side and be like, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to say no in front of everybody and embarrass you, but girl, what? But he probably gonna be mad at that too. You just made everybody think. Well, girl, you wanted me to say no right there and embarrass your ass? I just feel
Right.
like don't propose unless y'all have talked about marriage. In my opinion, like, why are you proposing if you're not sure? But anyways, so at this point, she tells the jurors they can all go back into the house with the finalists. That was kind of fun. So they all go back in. Shannon and Will hug, ooh, and they sit down and they get to the vote. Nicole and Will are able to nullify one vote from the jury each. Do you like this or leave this?
It was just random as hell for no fucking reason.
What?
They did it. They did it in which BB Can 3 was stupid. Then I just think it's dumb.
It's just what's the point? The vote count ended up being damn near exact. They congratulations. They notified each vote each. The winner is
Right.
still gonna be the winner.
Wikipedia don't even count it as that. This entire time, I didn't even know about this twist because the votes on Wikipedia show regularly. They don't count this shit.
They should show regularly. But anyways, yeah. Bunky Will notifies Bunky. And Bunky reveals, yes, I voted Nicole because Will at the end you said you wasn't gonna give your vote to charity. So I'm not doing that. Nicole notified Shannon because that's her boyfriend. Shannon was like, well, yeah, I voted Will, right, we're wrong. Woo, woo, woo. Then one at a time, they revealed their votes. Autumn voted Nicole. And she said, but I don't feel like this is an endorsement. I'm just a loyal person. I still feel like you're a liar. Krista votes Will. She says, I believe you're gonna make amends with the money somehow. Girl, I don't think so. Hardy said, I'm voting Nicole because he's loyal to her. Mike said he's voting Will. He feels like they both played a great game, but Will played better. Kent said the same thing. You both played great, but Will played the best. Cheryl said the same thing. You both played great, but Will played the best. And Monica just said, Will, you played a great game. Now, Lee, three people said they both played great, but Will played better. Is that true?
I just think it depends on the criteria you're deciding. I think the criteria of this era was, like we've talked about throughout this podcast, definitely more sociability, how the people felt about you. And by
Yeah.
this point in the game, Nicole, it was just, I think public knowledge, and just they kind of went in with a mindset of like, this is how Nicole's personality is. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She's dishonest. She's phony, and nothing she showed in these speeches or anything like that was going to change that. I do feel like in general, like in New Era BB, the speeches don't change anything. I'm pretty sure it's the same back then. They probably were decided going in. So I don't think there's anything she could do. Like her game was pretty much decided right when around the Crystal Week. Like the way the trajectory of it was going, like she sunk her ship.
I think if pretending they genuine Kent, because I will say Kent and Cheryl, I wouldn't necessarily just deem, oh, they're definitely considering. I do think they are, but I think there's a world where they genuinely are trying to think of who played better. And I feel like if there was an outside influence and they just had the influence of what happened within the game or they got sequestered, that they would think that Nicole did play better. I feel like Will seems like he played better because I feel like he's getting hyped out outside the world. Everybody in America is hyping his game as if he went from the bottom to the hero and he was so hated and now he's so loved. So it's like, of course they think he played better. But if you were sequestered, wouldn't you just think Nicole played better? When we're really talking about the game, but that's if they're actually talking about the game.
Yeah. And I just think they're obviously not considering all of the qualities to Nicole's game, but Nicole's also not leading with that. She's not arguing that, and they're not asking that. So I just think the criteria for who you want to vote, I mean, it's the first season ever. The jury, the evicted house gets a voting. What is the criteria? What is the game of Big Brother? What is a game that is deserving of the win? Who should I vote and what morals? 25 seasons in, it's a little bit more established. That's why people I feel like in situations with Tyler losing or Paul losing and things like that, it's like people feel like, oh, there's a certain way you have to vote. And if you didn't vote in this way, then you're wrong because the game is way more game oriented. People care more about certain moves and in certain instances, competitions that you won to make those moves. Whereas in Big Brother 2, none of that is the established meta of the game yet. So if they're saying they feel like he played better, I do think a lot of that is because of how they emotionally feel about him. But I mean, that's their criteria.
Yeah, exactly. So we get it. We get all the votes in. Will ends up winning the game, of course. Congratulations to him. Eats it up. And Julie talks to the final two alone. She asked them a few questions, but one of the more interesting ones she asked, was that the real Nicole and Will? Was that y'all being y'all? And Nicole says the real Nicole wasn't allowed in this house after week 1. After week 1, I realized I cannot really just be myself. And I'm going to have to just play this cutthroat game, and that was me. And it's like she knew what the fuck she was doing. She just didn't want to say what she was doing, as we knew. Will says
also,
that's
I love this segment, this little sit down with.
It was cute.
I really like hearing their thoughts. Now you have to get all of this through exit interviews. I like hearing it on the TV show.
Yeah, that's very
like
true.
The New Era finales are just so rushed. It's like, let's get them out of here. By the time we get to this part, how do you feel? Feel great? Okay, America's favorite house guest. Good night. We'll see you next summer. Bye.
Literally. Nicole said she felt like Will played the best game. Will said he felt like Nicole played the best game. They was both giving each other their props, so I love that for them.
Well, no, she said he was incredibly smart.
She also said she felt like he played a better game. She did.
Oh, she said that? She said that?
Yeah, which is crazy.
She was playing nice. She was being nice.
She was being nice. Because
she knows she's mother.
But we know who was playing the better game.
He was like, he knows that she was a very strong player, and that's why he wrote her coattails to the end. And he did not think he was going to win. So I just feel like that is a true statement. Like he's telling the truth when he said that. Like he really wrote her coattails.
Usually, if you capable of playing the game, you know who also was capable of playing the game. He know who mother was. Period. Child, let's get into these motherfucking ratings real quick. Let me change some of these girls because I had Justin high. This is my thing with like early people. I try so hard to do this like, they were out early, so I can't really tell and judge and woo. But at the end of the day, they was out early, so I had to bring Justin Cheryl down to a 4. I just can't. I can't sit with it no more. And usually in New Era, people out early actually play so terribly, so it's easy. But here it's like hard. Y'all not that bad. But let's get to the final 3 and give them their overall ranking.
I guess change my boogie to same as Shirley 2.5.
You was not fucking with him. No, I see it.
I was like the week he went. I remember from the week he went home. I felt so bad about it, and so I think that kind of bled into his overall score.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Um, okay, boom, Lee. How do you feel about Monica as an overall player?
I feel like you go first on Monica because
Okay, 'cause I don't know.
I'm so
This is
iffy
what
because
I will say.
I want to say yeah. You want to go? You
You can
say.
go.
I
You
was
got
going to
it.
say generally with Monica, I feel like she played an amazing social game. I feel like this is an example of a real authentic social strategy game where like people try to go into this game and they don't want to get their hands dirty or they want to kind of like come off as this real person. And Monica just did that so authentically. And like I said, it's a very particular strategy. And if done correctly, you can get in the position to where if you're at the end and you can get that competition win, you can win the entire game. Not a lot of people can
Mm-hmm.
do that. You know, I feel like the only other
Mm-hmm.
example I feel like I've seen of that is like an Ozza, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one person out of like fucking how many seasons?
20 years
But
later.
the only neg I'm thinking about Monica is that she did not have any of that extra just strategic ability. Like even Ozzy, she's in the cookout, which is the best alliance of all time. There
Mm-hmm.
was some strategic attribute that was helping her kind of get to that point, and I just feel iffy about that. But you can go.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly. And at the beginning of the game, I was feeling really, really good about the way Monica played the game. And then after Krista week, it was like, ooh, I'm just feeling so rocky. But what let her get to the end is the consistency of her gameplay. People still underestimated her, and that's a part of the intention. Like you saw her
Mm,
sister come and say, and her sister said, Monica's not really like this that much. She's more of a leader. She's even more loud than she's being. And she's more forward with what she does in real life. And in the game, she's toning it down because that's the game she's playing. And I felt like the way she plays, similar to Ozzy, like you said, like it's gonna get you to the end if you can genuinely play that way. And it's like it goes back to we say it sometimes that you have to play how you genuinely are. You have to be the way you play the game. And if you don't, and if you're pretending, and if you're trying to be something else, it's not going to work. And Monica said also in one of her diaries that I wanted to be the type of person to think through each week and play strategically, and I'm realizing I can't do that, and I need to play a different game. And it's like she did it, and she played it very, very well, and she could have won the game. And I think that's the big thing. Her getting so close to potentially winning the game is what makes me feel really good about her game because even though she had that mishap with Krista, she didn't need strategy to make it past. Her specific social game made her get past there. And I think the best thing about Monica's game is that it's in BB2. And in BB2, you don't necessarily need the strategic part. Even though she didn't have it, it's like, sure, you didn't have it in BB2 when you don't really need it. And she could have won the game and she would have blew Nicole or Will out of the water. She was just one comp away. So it's like, that makes me feel very good about, or even a different decision from Nicole, one moral compass away from Monica winning the game. And it's like, that's why I really
and
do.
see, and that's what, and I was another thing I was going to say then because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like are we basing this on how she's the overall player for this season? Are we basing this? Are we considering like other seasons as well? Because I do unfortunately feel like the specific way she was playing, if she played it this straightforward, she wouldn't do as well in the new era. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like I don't know. Because like I say, even with like an Ozzy, it's like she had that extra kind of cushion a little bit. Where I feel like
I
Monica
agree. I
didn't
kind of don't.
have much pass. I wish she had that with
I
Top. Let's say she had it with Top, and then Top broke up towards the middle. So
uh-huh.
it's just like there was
I, I
nothing
I
else
think for
past that that
me,
scared
I
me.
consider that more on a season that has had past seasons because I feel like it makes more sense for the player. You've
Right.
experienced other seasons, so I
You're
can see
right.
you in other seasons. She
This is
has
the
no
first
experience
ever
of anything
season.
else. So I think for me, not necessarily. It's very hard. It's a very, very hard decision. I think my main reason I'm going to give her this score is because of her extreme potential to literally win the game. It
Yes.
makes me feel so much better about her. It's not going to be nothing crazy, but I think I'm just going to give her. Um, I think I'm going to give her the 6.5, like I did Bunky. I do think I am.
And see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like by saying that last thing you said
Uh
with like
huh.
this being the first ever season, I think I am gonna go with the 7.
Would you say? Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the 7. I just feel like she played the perfect game that everyone is saying they want as the winner of this season. And if she kind of got
Mm-hmm.
to the end, she would have won next to
Mm-hmm.
either one of them. So I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's like I said, it's a very specific strategy, but it worked out for her. She got to the end. People respected her. They wanted her, like such an outpouring of respect for her. They wanted her to win. I think there were like a few things here and there, like I said, towards the end. I wish she kind of would have tweaked, but kind of based off of that, like this was the first ever season. So if she played this exact same way at like a BB, even like 6, 7, I'd be like, okay, Monica girl, it needs to be a little bit more. But like this is BB2. I think I am going to go with the 7, especially with the win equity at the end.
Yeah.
Very, very high win equity based off of the game that she was playing, that she like she intended to play. So,
dang, because now I'm going to go with the while I think a little bit, I do want to ask you a little probing question, because now you and you have rated Monica and Krista the same thing. How you feeling about that?
What do you mean?
Monica and Krista both have a 7 now. So you feeling that real nicely? Like they about what and what? Let's talk.
In my mind, I can give them 7 for entirely different reasons. So I don't see it on that level of like, oh, that means they're a similar player through and through. She gets a 7 for her reasons. Monica gets a 7 for her reasons. Because both reasons, both any way you play the game can get you to a win. So like I feel like kind of putting them all on the same level of scoring, it's like they're gonna have to all play this exact way to get this exact score. I don't see it as that. I kind of just see it as she did what she did to get her 7, and she did what she did to get hers.
How you feeling about?
I think they're in the same kind of caliber though. I think that Chris is definitely a little bit more strategic, but Chris also made her own mistakes, whereas Monica didn't really make any mistakes this season.
Yeah, that's very true. Nicole, how you feeling about Nicole?
Nicole, she's a mother.
This is mother.
I think that we've definitely talked about this several times throughout this podcast, but she's definitely ran this season. I think there's a lot that went into her losing, like the jury not being sequestered, but also just the jury management, how she sent people out of the game. But I feel like the type of game that she played, if it was a newer era season, she could have won. Like this is what new era meta BB is, the type of like strategic maneuvering she was doing, like, and the fact that it came out of her being hated almost out the door week 1 to entirely flipping it around, flipping the entire house around her, creating the other people was an alliance created around her, and then going out of her way and creating that relationship with Chilltown. Like Will, he did a lot of work with that, but she also used that to her advantage. Like that was a real relationship that she forged, which led to him truly being loyal to her towards the end game. Like he says in some diary rooms that he isn't, but I do feel like Will at that point was definitely loyal to Nicole. Like he kind of showed that through his actions throughout the game. So I just feel like she's definitely a great player for her time. And I feel like that could have been another issue for her. Like she's definitely playing, I think, at a level higher than most people this season. And that, I think, is where the narrative that she is this dishonest, just evil person comes from, because like she was fully in depth in the game. And I think it was just honestly way ahead of her time. I don't feel like there's many negatives. I don't really go down too low for quotations jury management, because I just think there's a lot of things that went into why she lost. So I think honestly overall for Nicole, I'm gonna say it's an 8.
Period.
It's just like she just quite literally got herself to that final 2 position. You know what I mean? Like it's like when she said, she answered that question, I believe in forging your own destiny. And I feel like she did that. Like she ran the season.
Yeah, 100%. I think I would give Monica the 7.
Even Will knows she ran the season. Will himself says she's a strong player, and he rode his coattails. He rode her coattails to the end.
Yeah, honestly, Nicole is one of the strongest players I've ever seen play the game.
There wasn't any information that didn't go through Nicole. There wasn't one vote that people were not begging for her vote. There wasn't one plan or idea other than the Untouchables that really went out of her sight. And then as soon as she caught on to it, who the fuck got out of the game?
Got told about it, mind you. Got told about it.
Literally. And that's the thing. Krista, that whole situation is so crazy because she got told by Will, the person that she hated in the beginning, information from Krista. Krista and Will's relationship was way stronger than Will and Nicole's relationship. It's just like, it just shows how like you don't have to be the most liked person. Like Krista, she got her position for being just naturally liked. She's the Southern Belle. She's a charmer. Some people thought she was dumb a little bit. They could use her. But I think, it's like there's a lot that went into it. Nicole, she did come off abrasive. She did come off as quote unquote bitchy. She did not, I feel like, naturally surround people around her, but because of her active gameplay, it forced people to want to work with her. And to the point of like, you got Krista's closest allies choosing you over her.
Yeah, literally. Nicole's that girl. From the beginning, I feel like week 1 is when I gave her a 10 because she flipped the entire game around from hating her. Like, you have to remember, she came in this game and everyone hated her. She was abrasive. She was the real Nicole, like she said. And she did change people's perception of her throughout the entire game. When she was playing in between Chilltown and the other people, after creating the other people, it's like that's meta of the game. Like, that's things that people in BB25 still don't know to do. And she was doing it the first iteration of the game. Her clocking on to Krista, knowing that Krista is doing the same thing she's doing or playing the type of game she wants to play. That's shit people don't even do in BB25. The way she used Will to her advantage, the way she used her connection to Chilltown to even get closer to Will, as Will was getting closer to her, it's like, that shit people don't even do in BB25. Like, she wielded this game very unapologetically all the way to the end. She took out every single person, damn near. She ran the entire game from week 1 all the way to the final 2. She had the control. She was in control. And I've honestly just never seen a more dominant game ever. There is very little flaws. The flaws she has, it's you could honestly just blame it on the season she played and the fact that people were not used to this experience. This is a brand new experience. And the situation she was in, it's like, I'm not sure that she would lose, like you said, in a future situation. So honestly, I'm giving her the 9.5. I feel like this was a monster game. I don't think there's a game that we'll watch on this BB Rewind that in my opinion, will top it because she did it on BB2. Like, when I think of the greats, Derek or Dan, it's like, y'all are doing less than what she did. And she did it on BB2. You're on BB16, Derek. And Nicole still, in my opinion, Nicole's domination is better than what Derek did. It's better than what Dan did on BB10 for sure to me. I can't think of another player in Big Brother history whose winning game is better than Nicole's losing game. She didn't even win. That's the only thing, is that she didn't win. So
that's a big thing for a lot of people.
And for me, I don't give a fuck. She should have won. And I think the reason it doesn't matter is because I don't think she didn't win because she didn't deserve to win or she didn't garner the win. I think she didn't win because of circumstance. If this was a season when these people we're referring to played, she probably would have won. And it's like, so for me, it's like, if I'm comparing you to those people, I'm thinking of how you would have been in that situation or how they would have been here. I don't think these other if Nicole was playing with Derek in this, if Derek was in BB2 and so was Nicole, it would be Nicole and Will in Final Tuesday. You wouldn't have made it. She would have got your ass out when she got out Krista. Like, I'm sorry. So for me, that's my mama. She's 9.5. Will is the winner of this season. But his game was very interesting because it's not just that he didn't find his footing. It was more so he was literally playing badly at the beginning of the game, how he kind of isolated everyone with Chilltown and people knew he was the head of Chilltown and he was targeted instead of Chilltown. And I feel like, or targeted with Chilltown. I feel like all those things were because he was literally being rude. He was being mean. People hated him. People were disgusted with him. And that was like the first three weeks. And he started to latch on to Nicole. That was a very good strategy. I feel like that helped him make it to the end of the game. But honestly, most of his game was just latching on to Nicole. So it's like, it's hard to think of other things to justify that he's a good player, other than the fact that he was aware of who the queen was and he latched on to her. It's kind of like Steve. Like Steve played, and I know more about Will because he played BB7, but we're talking about BB2. And the way Will played BB2 is similar to the way Steve played BB17, where he knew who Mother was, he ate that up, and that's very good. It's a great strategy, and I think Will did it more savvier. I think we saw more of Will's intention. I think Will ate Nicole up way more than Steve ate up Vanessa, and I think these are the things that make me feel a little bit higher and a little bit higher about his game. But still, at the end of the day, his strategy was simply being hated and then using Nicole. And it's like, great, you made it to the end because of Nicole's mother, but you only made it to the end because of Nicole's mother. Like without Nicole, what's Will's game? And I think that's kind of my issue. Without Nicole, you don't make it to Final Two. And it's like that's my issue. Your game was riding on one person, and that's scary. Like he had no other outs. He had no other options. Nicole lost Hardy, and she still made it to Final Two. And it's like I just feel like with Will, he did lose Chilltown. I will say that. But Chilltown wasn't the people helping him in the game. Nicole was the only person helping in the game. And I love that he thought of it. I love that he ate it up. And even him thinking of that in BB2, similar to Nicole, you're doing this in BB2. It's like you it shows things that people still don't do in BB25. And I really love that part of it, but it's hard because it's like your game was just like on a string the whole time. And then of course you won, but you didn't even think you was gonna win. Right. You thought you was losing. So that's not even.
I mean, like I said, he also himself said Nicole played better than him. So it's like,
and it's true. But he still played really, really good. But it's like, honestly, I wonder how really, really good I'm feeling. Do you want to go?
I just feel like I definitely want to give him his props because I feel like him and Nicole kind of started from the same places where it's like they were disliked and they used their savviness to kind of help themselves in the game. Will, he didn't catapult himself in the same way that Nicole did, but you can argue that was smart. I feel like that's even the thing that he started to try to like present his game as. Like, I never want to be the one in the forefront. I never want to be the person that people are seeing as a nuisance or an issue. I'm always the person that people are going to like. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm making jokes. I'm making people start to like me a little bit more. Whereas I think Nicole, she wanted to be in that leader position and she wore it well. I think that he kind of intentionally took the backseat a little bit more to wait for his opportunity. I think that he definitely wanted to do more that he just quite literally didn't have the chance to do because he was not winning those comps. I do think that he's saying he was throwing it. Like I said, there's a lot of inconsistencies that would prove that he was not throwing every single competition. But it's like he knew the role that he had to play. And I just think that he played his cards as best as he could. And those cards got him to the win. I think there's a lot of circumstances that got him to that point, like the type of season this is, like the criteria that they're looking at. I can also see, I mean, someone like Bunky was literally like, a lot of them were like, they don't like either one of them. And they were kind of just deciding based off of who played better. But like I said earlier, like the criteria for who they think played better, there's so many things that go into that. And I do think some of those things were, I mean, Nicole is dishonest. Like it's kind of a vote against Nicole a little bit. More so than a vote for Will. I feel like in some cases. So I just feel like, not that he's like lucky, but like Big Brother is a lot of luck that goes into it. He's a very charismatic person. And I think there was some luck. I think that he's obviously a great player. And I think he definitely proves that in BB7. But with this season, I mean, if I give it an initial score, I'm thinking a 7.5 for me.
I'm thinking
because I gave Nicole an 8. I'm not going to give him an 8. I don't want to put them. I don't think he's that high of a player, but in general, like he definitely deserves the respect for getting himself out of the position that he was in by manipulating people's perception of him, by being this genuine person that wasn't the genuine as like, I'm going to be nice to you, but like the genuine of like, I'm going to be fake. I am going to lie. I'm going to backstab. Like he was authentic. And that is what wins these earlier seasons. Being real, being honest, being open with the person that you are. And he played that game the best, which got him the win. If he did this in the earlier season, do I think he would even make Final Two? Probably not. Mainly based off competitions. Like, does he even get the win? I don't think so next to Nicole, based off of just like the sheer amount of power that she had over him. But that isn't what was respected in BB2. So I just feel like based off what was people were looking at, the criteria that the cast wanted to vote on, I think Will played that best game because it was also intentional how he wanted them to view him. He wanted them to be viewed in that way. He was doing things the entire time for him to be seen in this light, and that got him the win. Did he think he was going to win? No, but these actions, I just feel like sort of like Nicole in a way. It's like I think he forged his own destiny. Like it's not like, oh, Nicole just like Will, so she wanted to kind of like baby him a little bit. Like I feel like Steve a little bit. Like Steve, he was the person, he was the nerd. Like people like infantilizing him. Like Vanessa thought she could just run him and use him, and he's gonna be her little soldier. Like I don't think Nicole thought that about Will. Like
Will wanted Nicole to think that about. He like was trying to make that what she thought, and she didn't even think it. She knew he was that nigga. So it's like he's using, and I think it worked with Hardy. With Hardy, Will made it like, I'm just your friend, and you could just take me, and you're gonna beat me, and it's okay. I'm just that little. You're just gonna beat me. You're gonna beat me. Y'all are both gonna beat me, and I'm nothing. And I'm nothing in this game. And y'all know, like I don't even matter. And it's like that's all. He's making them try to kind of think that in the back of their mind. They don't just naturally think it. He's doing stuff to make it kind of happen.
And it was very intentional. Like because you said, like, okay, all he kind of had was the Nicole relationship when it comes to like getting him towards the end, which I agree with. But that he said that from the very beginning. He said from those earlier weeks, Nicole is a very strong player, and I have to kiss her ass and make her think all of these things to stay in this game. He did that all the way up into Final 2. So it's not like it's like circumstantial in the way of like these things just kind of happen for me. He did put in that work, and I do think like certain things kind of just went his way, like the Final Four, Monica winning Final Four,
the HOHs,
being able to take out Hardy and things like that.
Even a little bit earlier that because he like was benefiting so much on the Hardy and Nicole being so powerful, and it's like they were winning these HOHs, but it's like you never know who's gonna win an HOH. If Bunky just win one of the HOHs, now Hardy and Nicole are broken up at top 6 or top 5 instead of when they got broken up. And it's like now Bunky's still in the house, Monica's still here. And now you're kind of stuck in a sticky situation. So he really benefit off of Nicole playing so successfully too, and the HOH is going the right way. So it's like so in between. I think I'm gonna just give him the 7.5 though. Just the 7.5. You played, you definitely played good, but there was also a lot of circumstance. I feel like there were a lot of flaws at the beginning, and a lot of bad. You also played bad at a lot of points, and that's just.
I'm excited to see him play 7 because I feel like we are seeing him this season craft the strategy that he takes into 7.
Yeah, 100%. I think his BB7 game is one of the highest rated games I've ever rated somebody. Oh, did you say the 7.5 too?
Yeah.
Yeah, his BB7 game is one of the highest rated games I've ever given anybody. So I'm definitely excited. It reminds me a lot of Nicole this season in the sense that the way he like ran it, basically. It just seemed like you were always running this entire season. And then you went home. So it's like, oh, okay. My mother at Stop Child. That's right.
Every week but once.
Every week but once. Like we said about that Final 6, they're the top 6 players on the list. And then everybody else was at the bottom. So that's that.
And I'd argue that Hardy could be a little higher, but I ain't changing it.
I'll win. We gave Woody. He was never winning. I know that's right. Yeah, we gave Hardy a 5. We gave Bunky averaged a 6.25. Monica a 7. Krista and Will averaged the same score at 7.5. And then Nicole got the highest score at 8.75. I really do see this. I like this a lot.
Especially with this top 6. Like that bottom half girl, I mean, they were all over the place. But this top 6.
This top 6 is real nice. This was a very good season. We get to see 2 of them play again on BB7 whenever we do the BB7 rewind. So that's going to be very.
Should have been 3, but whatever.
Should have been 4, 5, 6. Like I'm here for all of them. That season was so small. They could have had so many people. But anyways, very excited to see them play again, Mike and Will. It's funny that Mike plays again because he got such a low score here. He got a 2.5, and he comes back for All-Stars. But his All-Star score is going to be his highest score for sure. That's his winnings. He wins.
Girl, I'll be the judge.
Spoiler.
I may give him a 2.2 then.
Ooh.
Give
him that one.
would you redo a Big Brother player rank and place Nicole higher? We haven't done a. I know Pharaoh has his own personal list, but I do know
And
we have
Nicole's
that
pretty high on my
women's
personal
ranking, top 10 women's ranking. I regret so bad that she's not in that because she's who's number one in that. Let me go to that real quick. Whoever is number one,
I think it's Danielle Reyes, boo. Not too much.
What I have to watch 3. I'll be the judge, baby. I'll be the judge. Because
we did talk about her being on that video, but it was kind of like we hadn't seen her season thoroughly enough and stuff. BB2. So when
I definitely hadn't at that time, so I wouldn't even be able to like.
When we did our winners ranking, we was like, no.
This is so ghetto. Because the top 5 is Danielle Reyes, Tiffany, Vanessa, June, and Nicole. Nicole Shaffridge is definitely in that second, third place era.
Yeah, 100%. So I do have an overall ranking of like every Big Brother player ever, and I have Nicole number 7 in every Big Brother player ever. I have.
And you know what?
Number 7.
So when you would tell me that, I would be like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm gonna let Pharaoh have it. Pharaoh got
She's just randomly there.
Ain't no way Nicole from BB2 is in the top 10 list of all time. She is.
I actually have her above Danielle Reyes.
This is such a great game, and what makes it even greater is that it was the first ever season. Like it just because I feel like if she played this good this time, imagine if she was playing in BB25.
Exactly.
This is a capable ass player. Imagine if she knew what the game of Big Brother was. She was able to turn bitches' minds on a season where that shit wasn't existing yet.
Clock it. She's right above Danielle Reyes on my rating, but that's because this includes both performances if you played twice. Nicole only played once, got second. Danielle played twice, and on BB7, she ended up getting 6th place, so it kind of brought her average down. I think in general, I'd probably have Danielle above a little bit, but it was that little average that brought her down. That's too much thinking. But anyways, she's top 10. She's top 10 in my list. But I'm going to make a new list now that I'm rewatching. We're doing the BB Rewind, so we'll see what she gets on that. I done gave her a 9.5 here, so definitely still top 10. I know that's right. All right, y'all. We did a full Big Brother Rewind.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
This was fun, Lee. Didn't you love it?
I loved it. Girl, shout out to G Woo Fish in the comments because G Woo been here damn near every motherfucking time. I think every single motherfucking time. Shout out, bitch. We love that. We love that. A few other people too. I saw Estella a lot. I feel like I really appreciate anyone who like did this journey with us because, girl, this was fun.
This was fun. This was really good. And it's like we kind of did it. A part of us did it for us. We were kind of just like, if people don't watch, people don't watch. People don't want to vibe with it. People don't want to vibe with it. It is what it is. So it's like, it's good that we love that you guys were here with us and some of y'all actually watched it together. Some of y'all joined the community with us and talked about it. So it's just so amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in for real.
Because we're going to keep this going.
We'll be back for BB3. So keep your eyes out for Big Brother 3, BB Rewind, because we're coming, bitch. We're coming for Danielle Reyes crown. Well, maybe not us, but Nicole is.
Oh my God.
So stay tuned for BB Rewind. And the Traders UK finale already happened. We already recorded that. So if you're into the Traders, check that out. And we're still going to be covering the Traders US. And coming up soon is a few more shows. So stay tuned for Survivor coming up and for Big Brother Canada coming up as well, because we are going to be covering those, of course. So keep your eyes peeled, bitch. And thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom. We're out.
Oh.